good evening, everyone. Welcome to the infamous Sylvia channel. I am here with Mr. Gucci. Okay, here you go. It goes, Mr. Gucci. Sorry about that, guys. How's everyone doing this evening? Welcome, guys. Okay, my name is Sylvia. I am the facilitator for tonight. We have a few guests that will be coming to our live discussion, the big talk. First guest is going to be Spittin' Fire. We're going to have Little Honey, Dr. Ronald McDowell, World Star Larry Kapler, and Mr. Gucci, as well as Mr. Terry, but he is on the other side right now. So we are going to turn it over to Mr. Gucci de Sosa.
Oh, so hello, everybody. We are hoping that, to show some stuff tonight, let everybody realize that, we're going to have fun tonight. We're not going to do any yelling, any misbehaving. We're just going to try to give everybody the facts. And once all the guests come in, we're going to start up exactly 7. We got 13 minutes. So again, I want to thank everybody. Hey, Sylvia, did you link it yet to the Facebook page? Hey, Facebook, everybody. Gosh, I'm sorry. I didn't even know. Hey, so tonight, I've been telling everybody that we got less than 4 months to start showcase Rob, accuses Rob case the way that people need to know it. And we're going to point out a lot of this stuff tonight so that everybody can start paying attention, It's a lot of stuff that you're going to ask yourself, wow, did that really happen? Wow, did this happen? So we're going to do our best tonight to get you and everybody. Once you hear everybody speak tonight, write your questions down. And Sylvia's going to put her email. Everybody email your question to Sylvia tomorrow. We're coming back on, and we're going to address everybody's question tomorrow. Same time. So Sylvia will post her, email, and please send all the questions by 11 p.m. tonight. 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Central, and 8 p.m. Pacific. So please, let's just be respectful. Everybody got their opinions. If you don't like ours, you're welcome to leave. But don't disrespect our chat. Don't, call people name in the chat. We're not here for that. We're here tonight just to show the work we've been doing and a lot of stuff. So once 7 o'clock comes, we will start, and we're going to get it done and get it ready. And Sylvia, I told you I was going to be on a computer tonight, so I ain't got to make no noise. So, yes. And Sylvia, there's going to be one more guest. I will text you and tell you when she's coming on. This lady, I'm going to give a brief explanation. This lady is a top agent in the music business. She's been around Rob for the longest, last 10 years before all this happened. She's been around Keith Sweat, Frankie Beverly, all those people. And the reason why I want her to come, because I want her to show as a lady what she sees backstage, and that a lot of this backstage is a big setup thing for a lot of artists' downfall because of what people do and bring backstage. Because she, like right now, I think she may be just finished doing something with Keith Sweat. So, but I spoke to her. She's on her way to Atlanta, and she's going to relax. And she actually trying to get one person with her. So if she do, she will text me. But once she tells me, Sylvia, she will come. Her last name is Scott. So if you see anybody in the display, that's her. But she's going to text me and tell me once she gets settled so she can come in exactly 7 because she got a lot she want to talk to. She got a lot. So, let's tonight, let's have fun. Like I said, you got a question, please, write it down and let's go from there. All right? So, we got 9 minutes, Sylvia. You can put me on mute. I'm run to the kitchen, get my drink. No.
Would you like me to put the video on?
Yeah, at 7 o'clock. Do it at 7 o'clock. So let's talk a little bit and, see how many people start coming in and we go from there. All right?
All right.
All right.
Hi, everyone. Let me just say hello to those that's in the chat. All right, let's see. Hello, Shannon. Hey, Lady G. GJ. Hey. He said, what happened to your wrench? I took a lot of wrenches away the other day because there were people being we'll talk about that later. Hey, Tori. Hey, Elizabeth. Hey, woman of God. Hello, Patrick. Welcome. Happy holidays to you too. Let me mute him. Let me mute him. Hello, unique thoughts. Hello, let's see. Cynthia. Hello, Cynthia. Hey, Queen Christy. Hello, Liddy. Hello, Big Marshall. Ashley. Hello. Hey, Dom. Carmen. Hello. Forensic Guy. Hello. Hey, Bora Bora. Hey, Rhoda. Hello, Debbie. Hello, Sharon. Woman of God. Hello. Good design. Hello. Robin. Hello. Let's see who else. Mrs. AP. Hello. Hey, Red Bunny. Hey, Reba. Nakia is in the house. Hello. Also lovely. Cha. Let's see who else. And those that's in Facebook. Hello, Facebook family over there on that side of the world. Hello, Heal the Land. Queen Christy. Hello. Hey, Wish. Hey, Audra. Carolyn. Hello. Let's see who. Lawanda. Nisha. Miss Fat. Hello. Black Beauty. Hello. There's quite a few guys in here. Hey, Charlotte. Hey, Champel. Let's see. I think I got everybody. Hey, Randa. Hello. Let's see. It's a lot of people. Hello, everybody. Oh, so lovely. Tatted Alicia. Hello. Nisha. Hello, everyone. You digging me, everybody. Hello. I'm going to give you one big hello. Hello. We have 135 in the chat. Please click the like or dislike, whatever you want to hit. Just let us know you're here. Hey, Olga. Miss Fat. Hello. Kayla. Hello. Miss Yvette. Hello. All right. I was trying to say hello to everybody, but all right. Gucci. It's all yours now.
Hey, why is it gonna be all mine? I'm still, trying to cope on my liquor, but I'm just relaxing. We're waiting. What else? Let's just have fun. We're gonna start in exactly 5 minutes. Give the guests to come in. What's the name? Just text me and asked me if it was on your page. I said, yeah, we are doing it on Sylvia's page, but we are linking it to Facebook. So, so I'm telling her we're waiting on her now.
Yeah, we have Spittin Fire. She's coming on in. We have quite a few people. We have Dr. McDowell. I told you guys. We have World Star Magazine, Larry Kapler.
Yeah, Larry.
Just waiting for our guests to come in. We don't want to start the video yet until the guest comes in, so they can see what's going on.
Yeah, so we're gonna make this fun, and the first thing we're gonna play, we're gonna play something for you to listen and pay attention and see where the setup came from, and this person is gonna admit it that Rob don't want to talk to me because he's going to tell me I started all this. So we're going to start from there. Then we're going to go on and start discuss stuff in the panel. Okay. Our
stance is we are R. Kelly supporters. We believe that he should have the same rights as everyone else. His rights are being violated as human being. All individuals are have a right to have a speedy trial. Robert has been incarcerated almost 2 years without having any type of concrete trial dates. He's been overcharged, and his constitutional right of having um, a speedy trial is being affected. Whether or not you believe he's innocent or guilty, the point is his rights as a human and as a citizen of the United States are being violated. He should have a speedy trial, and that's not happening. So we're going to concentrate on how unfair the system is being towards him, and also the games that the system is playing with his life. Okay. Gucci, I'm gonna go ahead on and start the video if you don't mind. And please, guys, be respectful in the chat room. Please do not call anybody name. Do not disrespect our guests or our chat or our individuals in the channel in the chat. The chat. But anyway, okay, here we go, guys. I'm gonna play the first video. Gucci, is that okay?
And this is where it all started from. Then I'm going to tell you my research I did and that people in the music business tell me. So let's go.
I was saying to myself, I helped grown him. He was a young kid, 16, and he was very bashful, very shy, very super silly. At the same time, he was shy. I pretty much think that I mean, this is just me. I'm not trying to take claim or anything, but I just think that he got his courage somewhat from me because he was a bashful kid. People used to mess with him and talk about him. He didn't ever come out. He didn't come out. You know, I spent a lot of time with him, taking him into the subways, grooming him pretty much. My children's mother is young, you see. She was.
When you say that she was young, what do you mean? Like,
it's a significant age gap. It was a significant age gap. You know, I was 25 to something, and my kid's mother's 17. I was 25 to something, and my kid's mother's 17. And
so she was 17 when you guys started dating?
Yes.
When she had the baby?
When she had, yeah.
He wasn't bad. He married. He had a baby with a young woman.
Well, I heard that Demetrius Smith had 2 babies with 2 young women.
And he was, I think, 39 or 40. 39 or 40.
39 or 40.
And the 2 moms were about 16.
Woo.
Yeah, so
Demetrius Smith himself has committed the crime of being a pedophile.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Smith admits to his own demons, drug use, and doing time after being fired by Kelly for theft.
I took money from Robert in the beginning when we were down in New York. That's the only time I took any money. It was just $200. And I took that because my family was hungry. And I was in New York with him, and he had a whole pocket full of money, and all they gave him for diems and everything. He didn't give me nothing. I got to get some money, and I'm in New York, man. You can't give it to me. Somebody finna get a headache. Because I was ready to go outside and take some money from somebody. But instead, I took it out of his wallet because he had a whole bunch anyway. And then I felt like he was wrong to me. And then I told him, I didn't steal nothing from nobody. I'm not a thief. I'll take some shit from you, but I ain't a thief. Now, after I left him, I still had the credit card, the American Express.
Okay.
And here it is. After that, I left them. We're done. I am broke. I went to the gas station one day. I tried the car, and it worked.
Okay.
It was Christmas then. That's just the bottom line.
Admits to his own demons, drug use, and doing time after being fired by Kelly for theft.
Flexed. I was angry. I felt like, man, this dude, man, just used me.
Say, I back then said, hey, Tiffany, this is what you need to do. Robert, this is what I did. I told her to do this.
In a situation like that with Tia, you know, already having a baby. He
Tell me about an incident with a young woman named Anna, and she is deaf.
That's not her name. I forgot her name. But yeah,
but she's deaf, and he put his hands on her.
So she couldn't even cry out, so he had to do some time for that.
So he did time for that.
I did 30 days, 40 days.
Okay, because he still speaks to her, and that's sad. But he does like to keep in contact with a lot of women that he can victimize and stuff like that.
Like,
well, from what I heard, the girl was hogtied.
No, that's not true.
Okay.
She was hogtied by Johnny.
She was hogtied by Demetrius. So the girl came to R. Kelly's studio to do music through Demetrius.
Exactly.
Demetrius hogtied this little girl?
No, let's not get to the hogtie yet, because that didn't happen.
Okay.
In Robert's face.
Okay.
What happened was he took Shannon to the studio. He was like, Rob, he was trying to get on me. Rob, I got this girl. Look, she looked like Pink.
Okay.
And she could sing.
Okay.
I got this little girl and she could sing and blah, 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 blah. So he took her to Rob. And so Rob said, okay, she got to stay here. She took her cat, and a couple clothes. And she stayed in the studio. So I guess she didn't like being, she was a little girl. She was a young girl.
Right.
And so nothing transpired between Shannon and Rob.
There was never, so how did the hog tying happen?
He brought Shannon to California eventually. When he got to California.
Demetrius is he. He brought Shannon to California.
Some years later.
Years later?
Yes.
And how old was she at this point?
I mean, like 18.
Okay.
So he had her at some hotel in Hollywood, and he tied her to the chair with socks and put a sock in her mouth. And I was supposed to pick her up to hang out, me and my girlfriend. So we got into the room. I believe that the maid let us in. Because I got,
okay.
a little mouth, and I got in. And when I saw, I was like, what the fuck?
Right.
And I untied her, and I took Shannon to the airport, and I said, don't ever turn your face to come back. I pay for it to go. Like, what the hell?
So it wasn't like a government ID, it was like a work ID?
It was government ID and a work ID.
And you're saying that it wasn't, I mean, if it had her name with a different age, that would make it a fake ID, right?
It's a fake ID, but it was a real ID. It was a government, it was, it's not, I'm not gonna, I took them down to a government official place, and somebody there took some money, and somebody there took some money,
And somebody there took some money.
and they took her ID for her. And it
Okay.
was, and it's
So
like you
that's-
going to the county, it's like you go get a driver's license, and I know somebody in there, and I'll take you in there, and they'll give you a driver's license. You ain't got to take no test. You just give them some money. And that's what happened with that. And that got her a marriage license.
And so the only thing that you're saying that your role was just, you were just there when she got the fake ID.
I took them to a place where she got an ID that got her a marriage license.
Okay, but you didn't forge the marriage license documents. No. That was all Aaliyah and him.
Yes, their signatures. Yes, their signatures.
I left him in '95. I'm not with him. And I've reached out to Robert to talk to him but I understand Robert. He's not going to trust me. He doesn't trust me because I'm the one that started this. I'm the one that started this. And he doesn't trust me for that.
Well, to let all my fans know that they have a right, they support me. Right. So I'm here to let them know I'm not married. That was a rough time for me, to be honest and be real, for me to get through a very tumultuous period. But, I got through it. Right. And, my mom is here with me today. And I got through it. The support of my family, right. The Lord in my life, number one. And a lot of support from my family.
Question for people who want to know I am not married. Not at all.
Everybody. Unfortunately, it's business. People are going to talk, and we can't control what people are going to say. So I'm here to let all of you know that I am not married. I'm not Aaliyah Kelly. I'm Aaliyah. So actually,
you are married or not? No, I'm not married. Robert's doing his thing. I'm doing my thing. He's a great producer, great artist who I do admire, and there's nothing at all.
So you know about all the rumors about you being married and stuff like that. Was there any truth to that?
man, you are so late.
I know, but you know what it is? It's like,
So late.
I just had to ask it though.
Nah, because like the fans, they know. You know what I mean? Like my fans that I love you, thank you for supporting me. They know. Like you need to get like an old vibe or something and like
right
answer because that's old.
I'm the one that started this.
You see, he admitted himself that Rob can never trust him because he's the one start all this BS. Because all of this started with this damn marriage license, and they used this. They was using this that I was told in the music business by a lot of people that this backfired on them because they was using this to sell records. And it backfired because Demetrius and Barry is the one that set it up, set it the vibe, and they put that jacket on R. Kelly's head that he like young girl. That's where all of that started from. And everybody is planted with this crap about him liking young girls. And I still haven't seen a young girl yet. And hello, every guest. Hey, Dr. Ronald. Hey, Miss Little honey right there.
Hi, Gucci.
How y'all doing today?
We're doing
So,
good.
and that's the thing we're going to talk about. Everybody going to get their chance to talk because later on I got more to say because I did some more digging, about the break in the house, all that stuff. So Sylvia, take it over.
Okay,
or somebody, we can talk first. You just play with it.
Okay, let me introduce our guest. I have Little Honey. Little Honey, can you please tell us a little bit about yourself?
Roberts and been there for a long time as one, and I run the Injustice of the King and R&B on Facebook, the fan page group in support of him, and that's who I am.
Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Ronald McDowell, can you please give us a little bit of introduction about who you are?
Doc look like
can you hear me,
stuck.
Dr. McDowell?
We can't
I think
hear
he's
you.
stuck.
Let him come
We
back
have
in.
to boot him out and then let him come back in.
And while doing that, it's a lot of stuff we're gonna see. I got several videos that this young lady put her stuff together so good. You can see the setup and the problem. Like I told Sylvia.
Let me give a shout out. I want to give a shout out to the video. The owner of the video is Malicious Conspiracy. I want to give a shout out to Toxic Diamond for her interview with Kalita. Kalita is Demetrius Smith's sister, as well as Nick at Night. Nick at Night did the interview with Demetrius. So I want to give a shout out to those bloggers and the owner of the video. Thank you.
Right.
Go ahead.
And we appreciate that because the thing is, it's about time we start showing this case. Everybody got their stuff, they're here, they're there, but no one is actually showing. Rob's sitting down and instead of we look and do stuff, it's all the mess going on. So I've been doing a lot of this the last month, and Sylvia just looking into things. I found a lot of stuff, and when it boiled down to it, 90% of it is got back around to Barry. And I'm going to talk about that later on when, people get to do their other, talk about stuff. We got more. We got the whole, you can see the whole setup, looking, and there goes Spittin Fire, and Spittin Fire going to preach your butt off tonight. Sylvia, I'll talk about that later.
Hey.
Hey, Spittin Fire, we would like you to introduce yourself. Welcome.
Hey, this is Spittin Fire. They know who I am. I got a Spittin Fire channel on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram or whatever. I'm a blogger that speaks and vlogs about injustice. I've done injustice work for the past 12 years. And I'm going to be giving my my points of views on this case and how I came about and what I believe that's going on with the government and the injustices of it and everything else. So when you and Gucci had me on here, I was honored to be on here to talk about this because finally we can actually get down to business and, do what we came to do. And we spent the whole year fighting. Now it's time to work. So I'm here to, contribute to that.
And I agree with you. And you know what? After Sylvia play one more video, we're going to let you kick it off.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go. Sylvia, I think you should play the long one where she did the setup, where you hear Larry, all them talking, all them people. Yeah. That's probably the last one I sent you. This is the phone call. This is the phone call between Don Russell and the Savages. And people, you just pay attention to a lot of this stuff. Oh, you can see this is what's all about money. It's all about money.
Congratulations. He just got him a wife for life. You should talk to TMZ.
Just tell them you was hoodwinked, and they gonna put y'all in a position to make some money. Talk to them. I've already talked to them about it. The benefit.
And I'm just real, man. No, it's just I'm done, man.
I understand that, but listen,
me and my wife going through divorce right now.
Listen, Tim.
Put me in a situation I gotta go through a divorce now. So
Tim, Tim, you the man of your house. You can fix that shit.
No, it's over, bro. That shit. I've been married for 20-some years, bro. It's over.
You are the man of your house. You can fix that shit.
You talking. I already called some folks, my brothers, all them, man. This shit, once I do that, bro, marriage don't get fixed out there. You should know this. You're a savage. And once you call brothers and tell them what the fuck is going on, it's over, man. That's too much public. My brothers know what's going on, what happened, what all this shit, bro. I'm done. I mean, tell Rob he can do what he gonna do. I'll go out and make my million, and he got a nice wife for him.
I said, you should talk to him. I ain't saying who else should talk to him with you, but you should. Go and talk to that man. I'm gonna send you the number, call him, and tell him, listen, man, listen, they wait, whatever. You rehearsed you in this shit, they twist this shit, whatever you gotta tell them, because at the end of the day, that's still your daughter. When all this shit, the dust settles, you're gonna want a relationship with her, and what you gonna want to be out there is that, listen, man, I screwed up, but or maybe, I don't know if you feel that way. If you feel like you made a mistake, but whatever happened, I just wanted to, get back close to you. This is coming from a man who lost a child. I mean, so if I had it in me right now to go back in time and say 2 words to my baby girl, I would do it. I don't. So say something positive so you can have that at least out there. So when she sees it, it's public. Listen, babe, I'm sorry. I did try to make it. I'm talking about when you laying up there and she's standing over you at the end of your days. You want her to know that, goddamn it, I made a mistake. I'm sorry, and I wanted to fix this. Talk to God about the best way to get that out. And you come, because only you know what's happened. She knows too, which is why y'all are so far apart right now. But something has to be said. If you are realizing this thing is falling apart, it's not going the way everybody expected it to go, something has to be said. Because Rob got a million fucking fans that when they start hearing this shit, like I told you, I promise you I won't put your ass in this. If you're going out there and you say something, you gotta rescind some of the stuff. Not everything. Just go say something positive. Baby girl, I support you. If you with that man and that's your choice, we love you and I hope the best for you. And then go and talk to my man over at TMZ or whoever you need to talk to. They're gonna put some money in your how that's affecting your family. And this whole thing with Lifetime was some bullshit. They know them bitches is lying. You gotta say that shit. When you say that, guess what? It's out there. Right now, all that other stuff is out there. Put that out there so when your daughter can see it and she come up to you one day, Dad, why you do that? I was hoodwinked, just bamboozled, whatever. But at least it's out there that you had something on the other side. Clary's already done that. I have that already from him. And you can call him and verify that shit. It's on you now. You got to do that. It's a lot of things that transpire. Huh? I promise you on everything. Why the fuck? I'm talking. You ain't talking shit. It's like I'm directing you. I'm not taping it, but bro, I told you, I don't play that shit, man. I don't play none of that. I'm not taping your calls. I told you it's a family courtesy. I'm not doing any of that shit. I don't want this shit to exist. We got big deals we working on outside of this shit, and it's hampering with those deals. I'm not making no money calling you. I ain't no motherfucking body else. That's my man. We got deals going on that he appreciates, that I appreciate, that my investors appreciate, and this shit is fucking it up. So I'm talking on the fact of let's get this shit over with so we can get on to real business. Fuck all this bullshit. So I'm giving you a call, man, and you called me, but last night was man-to-man, me calling you, talking to you and your family, because it could get real ugly if this shit comes out.
It's already ugly, bro. I'm finna go through it.
Yeah, I know. You don't want it to get worse. Tim, don't let it get worse, is all I'm telling you. So go on, just listen, I'm not instructing you. Sit down, pray on it. Pray on it. Pray on that shit. And if you feel like what I'm saying has some value to it, put something out there that says, listen, I'm accepting the fact that this shit could go completely wrong, and I don't want to be The last thing before it go wrong is I'm on one side of the fence because that's gonna look fucked up on me.
I said last night, man. I said, if Rob want to get some help, she want to get some help. I said it on the blog last night.
They don't need help based on the way they living, bro. I seen that shit. I was listening. New Year's Eve, I was with them. They don't need no help. They enjoying their motherfucking self. But right now, you the angry father that's mad because your daughter dating this older man and you attacking her man. That's how that shit going. And that's how they looking at it. And they fighting back.
Hey, she don't need me at this point, man. She got
She's right. She's all. She don't need you, but she wants you. No, you won't. She don't. Right at this particular point, she does need her father. I don't give a fuck with nobody. That's her man, but she needs her father. But her father's against her right now. That's how she feels.
I'm not against her, bro. I'm done with it.
That's what she feels. No, you ain't good. That's your daughter. She your daughter forever. Tim, that's your daughter till the day you die and she die. So you have to put something out there saying that, listen, I wasn't totally with that shit. Whatever, however you feel like saying it, she needs to hear that. So if that day comes when y'all sitting face to face, baby girl, I'm sorry. You can at least say that. And it's not because you're sorry because the shit fell and crumpled on you. It's 'cause I realized before that shit came out that was wrong. I should have never got in that shit. Period. I mean, so I'm giving you something. You take it if you won't. Take it not. What we have on our side is going. Listen, I'm not threatening you, but we have to make sure we protect our interests on this side. Understand that. So we got everything. This ain't no average motherfucking Joe from the west side of Chicago. This is the fucking king. He's a fucking legend. We got what we need to protect him with. So I'm giving you this as a family fucking dude. I ain't talking to nobody else like this. You and Clary are the only two that I'm talking to because why? That man loves them girls and they got a relationship that I don't fucking understand, but they got one. I don't get it, but they got it. So I'm respecting their situation and what I've seen with my own fucking eyes. And I'm not trying to put nothing out there that's going to have you and your family fucked up or Clary and his family fucked up. We do have it, though. And we got them young girls ready to go public, too. So think about this shit, man. You can play this shit back to the very beginning. You only understand. I don't know what happened in the beginning. You know that the girls know and Rob is involved. And I'm protecting Rob's interests. That's it. But play it back to the beginning and some shit happened along the way that you think, maybe I should have did that. Then you owe it to yourself to tell somebody the other side. That's all it is. And that's the only way God's going to correct your karma on this shit. Go ahead, bro.
Can I say this?
Yeah, you can.
From the beginning, brother, I've never did anything to where my daughter wasn't satisfied with me. Not one bit. And from my father passing to my mother right now that's in front of me, from me going through a marriage that I had for 20 years, that's down the toilet at this point, when I say I'm done, I wouldn't give a fuck if the moon came out on me right now. I'm done fucking with my daughter. I'm done fucking with this shit. I'm done with this whole shit, bro. And if I have to do what I have to do, I'm a self-made man. If my daughter didn't tell you, I'm a self-made man. So at the end of the day, I'm done with this shit, bro. This shit is killing my whole vibe. From my wife, from my daughter, from all this shit. And you know what you have to do? When you have a vibe like that, you cut that shit off and you keep it moving.
You got 2 daughters, dog. You can't just cut it off. You don't just have 1 daughter. You got 3, and they need.
Yeah, I got 2 other daughters, and I promise you.
Yeah, listen, Tim. I can't honor what you're saying, bro. Listen, hear me out, man. I can't honor that shit at all because I wish I had 1. So what you saying right now? That's chicken shit. I ain't trying to hear that, bro. You ain't. Are you a savage? Shit, nah. You gotta play that back, bro. You did something in this to make your karma what the fuck it is. Own that shit. Because you see the way they coming at him. You see the way all these rumors and fucking lies that you know are lies, and the way they coming at him. Imagine when y'all telling y'all side first. When the motherfucking direction switch to his response and it comes out there, oh my God. They're going to look at you real strange, man. Wherever you going to do business.
Call me now, man. I'm going to hit you right back. I'm going to hit you right
later.
All right.
Hello?
So, you see how this thing is, you notice one time, ain't nobody even say about Rob. All they keep talking about, we got a lot of money. I want money. My investor, my this, my that. That's how you know what this thing is about. Okay? Nobody care about that man's life. Everybody using him as a Brinks truck. He's the bank. Everybody, that's what they care about. You know, and some, you know, one of the credible person in Rob thing said to me that Don Russell meant good. He just went the wrong way, trying to muscle thing, and that's what messed him up. If he just did let lawyers do their job, but he's trying to be a street dude with a smart brain, and apparently don't work because you telling him to call TMZ, they got money for you. Just go, you know, tell them this story, that money. Man, let me tell you something. This whole case, when it boils down to it, is about Rob is the stepping stone to their bank, and Rob is the name that people want to hear so they all can get paid. That's it. You know, and it's crazy. You know, so hey, Terry, introduce yourself, and Sylvia, go ahead.
I had Dr. Ronald McDowell. Dr. McDowell, can you please introduce yourself?
Good afternoon, group. My name is Dr. Ronald S. McDowell. And I'm bringing myself, or inviting myself, speaking to young people into this conversation. Because I'm a big fan of Rob's, number one. And after hearing what he has been going through, I know about Michael Jackson, because Michael was my first art student for 12 years. I'm working with him on the whole Thriller project, on the artwork and stuff, and a couple of videos I did for the videos. And a lot of other celebrities. So I know what celebrities go through. I'm not going to get into that right now, but when you're making a lot of money and the fame that and the notoriety that Rob has, it's going to attract a lot of the wrong people who's in it for their best interest. And the reason why I'm coming on board, because I like to see some changes done, not just for him, but for all of the African American men who have been incarcerated for no reason, just because they're famous and worth a lot of money. So that's who I am. And I'm a professor at Tuskegee University also.
Thank you, Dr. McDowell.
Welcome.
Terry, would you like to introduce yourself?
Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, how you guys doing? I'm Terry Robinson, aka Rated R the Hustler. I just came from over at Facebook doing a pre-talk of our segment tonight. I was waiting on the interviewer, but I think she had something going on. So anyway, it goes. We're here now. I'm excited to be a part of the discussion. And to kind of really dive into what's really going on.
Okay, thank you so much, Terry. All right, I'm going to bring in our next video. We have one more after this, and then we could start the panel. And everyone's going to have 2 minutes to respond to whichever video you want to respond to or whatever you want to talk about, okay? All right, let's go.
Attorney, I want you to talk about the legal hurdles that you...
Go home to your damn parents. They calling, go home to your parents. Here, take the last of this budget, because he drops it off, 10,000, 12,000 a month, and this is the budget. This is your money for the month. See, I know how it go. And he's the money man. He's the one that drops it off, because that's what his best friend want him to do.
Okay, we have our last video. Okay.
Yeah, you went to the end.
I did.
Hey, you went to the end.
Okay, I'm sorry. That was the end. Okay, okay. Let me just do this one here, and then I'll come back and get the other one. Okay.
Hey, Wanda, you see what we're talking about?
My apologies, y'all.
But the thing is, people, believe it or not, it's a lot of pieces you got to put together. You know?
The first girl. And Susan Loggins, who was the attorney that someone took her to.
Make it.
I, back then, said, hey, Tiffany, this is what you need to do. Robert, this is what I did. I told her to do this. Told her to do this. All of them got money, Susan Loggins. And then what does she do? She'll go out and get other people, recruit people to prosecute Robert for deals. See, it's all about getting money, which was not fair, because if it was a crime, Susan Loggins, as an attorney, your obligation was to turn them over to the law. If it was a crime, then how could they make a deal?
Then the next day, after you left, she recalls she contacted the offices of Chicago attorney Susan E. Loggins. It was on their website that they had worked with a lot of women who went against Kelly. This is her quote. And I thought, oh, that's a good thing, Pace says. Right? So the next day, you went to an attorney. You didn't go to the police. And you just happened to find this attorney that had experience representing women that had accused R. Kelly of doing things in the past. How did you Google this woman? How exactly did you find Susan Loggins? I find that very, very peculiar and premeditated that you knew exactly what attorney to go to file your case against R. Kelly. Then you said when you went to Loggins for assistance, you were told that the attorneys were going to make you a millionaire. That's when you decided to pursue a settlement instead of criminal charges, right? It was to get criminal. You said if it was to get criminal charges, it would probably be like it was the last time, where he wouldn't get convicted. So you said, just give me the money, because it's all about the Benjamins, baby. We all know it is. The more and more I dig into your story, the more and more I'm convinced that this was a setup from the beginning.
Yeah, right there. Rob paid me. There it is. It tells you right there. Can you see it? I don't know if you can see it, but it tells you that he paid me $50,000 right there, and it was a receipt for him paying. He was paying $50,000 every other month to me, and then he ended up having to, had whatever, and he ended up paying $5,000 a month.
No, people like us are licks for these girls now. I mean, we're targets on every level, and half the time they'll set up a charge just for us to settle out, just so we don't deal with the embarrassment or go through the process of fighting it. Because once you get that stigma, it's on you, whether you're innocent or guilty.
And you see, you hear what Acorn said. That's the thing in the music business, right? Everybody's scared of, because Acorn is a good friend, and he always said that to me. Said he's so scared of even meeting a girl at a concert because he don't know if they're genuine or if it's a money lick. Because this the thing, okay? No entertainers, none. I've been around all the top one in my whole life and career. No entertainer have nobody go find him a girl, after begging a girl. Because you remember this, Ask any entertainer you know anybody. Entertainer, the girls flock to them. They don't have to send their boys go look for nobody. They don't. But the problem in this case is all these people is appointing these girls where they go. You know, Demetrius just said it right there. If it was a criminal act, they would have prosecuted. But why it became a civil? Because Robert is the Brinks truck. What they do in Brinks truck got all the money. That's all it is. Go ahead and rate it out.
You know, just like I've been, saying numerous of times, on this show, on this platform, just the experiences of being a recording artist and even not even touching the plateau of where R. Kelly is. That type of environment is like that. And what I'm saying is, when I say that, meaning that you don't have to ask for it. You don't have to take it. You don't have to force it. Like if a female want to be around an entertainer, if they want to be around a star, they want to be around if however they want to make themselves their prep. Because let me tell you something. Now I know there's some women on this chat, but there's some women predators out there too. There's some women predators out there. You know what I'm saying? You catch somebody that's hurt or just got a rough life, they'll bring hell to the city. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it is, when you look at the footage, with Demetrius admitting, to this stuff, talking about he groomed and and some of the things that has been put out there on the table. Like, are we looking at the right person, or is it somebody else?
Okay, I would like Spittin Fire to give her input on this topic. I would like Spittin Fire to open up the discussion.
Okay, so here's the thing with me. The issue that I have with all of this is that these people are out here admitting to things, and yet when the whole docuseries came out, the FBI, one of the FBI agents came out and said that that was one of the reasons why he went on and pursued R. Kelly and went on with the arrest, because of the docuseries. Now, all this information has came out, and no one has said anything contrary to what the initial complaint was. You know what I mean? Everybody's stories has changed. People have been caught in lies. When we're YouTubers and we caught all these people and all these lies, a lot of you have interviewed people. They have been saying one thing and then turn around and said something totally different. They have had interviews with the police, and then they have had had immunity and everything. And I find it very funny that you charge a man with enterprise, but yet the people who you send part of the enterprise, you giving immunity to. Like, that doesn't even make sense to me. And furthermore, it doesn't even make sense to me as where you seen all these people like even went back when Tupac was arrested and went to jail for rape. I'm just using this as an example. It's the fact that he went to jail for what his entourage done. And I just think that that is kind of lame for the law to be allowed to do that, because every individual person is an adult and everyone has choices to make. And so if this person is done something that is against the law because they hung around R. Kelly or work with R. Kelly, why is it he's the one getting blamed for what it is that this grown-ass man have done over here? That's just like, I worked in the auto industry in Detroit, and there were times where we were working and people were wanted, okay? And the police will come up in there and they will arrest the person and haul their asses right on out the plant. They didn't go and arrest the damn CEO because they hired the person who was wanted. So I don't understand how we as a people think that it is okay and allow the law to do this. And this is why when I came out, I went at the law. Everybody was going at these accusers and stuff like that. That's good and dandy, but the laws is where it had to be changed, because one of the things with that is if we don't change the laws, they're going after your celebrity men, right? So they're going after your celebrity men, not just because they have the money and all that. We already know that. They're going after them because to kill hope for the black man. You know what I mean? You have all these celebrity men that have made it out of whatever situations. Like R. Kelly couldn't read, couldn't write, but he has made it. Bill Cosby, all the other ones have made it. And they're going after them. But what we do as a culture, we are the ones who actually come in and separate our culture more so than any other culture. And so I think that that is a problem. This is why I speak cultural obligation, because we have a lot of people in other cultures help us, but we're so disconnected. You know what I mean? And so I think that when you see Demetrius on here admitting to all these different lies and scenarios and everything, and then all these women took money or whatever, but then they want to go around and they say they're a victim. But yet you have these women too that said that they uncle raped them. Now, wait a minute. Okay, so R. Kelly raped you or sexually assaulted you. Then you said your uncle sexually assaulted you since you was 4 up until whatever age. But you go after the celebrity man who you went to, but you didn't also go after the man who sexually assaulted you when you were little. This shit doesn't make any sense at all. And then you have a man that's the opposition saying he helping these little girls, Well, if 21, 22, 23 is a little girl, then when the hell will they grow the hell up? Because by the time you're 25, I'm hoping you the hell out of my house. You know what I mean? Let's just keep it real. I want mine to be grown and gone when she get of age. I'm not trying to keep you a kid forever. I'm not trying to raise you forever. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things. And then you got men saying we protecting women. Well, actually, you're the ones who need protected right now. See, people don't realize that the world is changing. Okay, the tables have turned. And this is what I was trying to tell everybody on my channel. What was good is now bad. What was bad is now good. We used to protect the women. Now the women have to protect the men. So it's almost like the men have to save themselves until they're damn married. Because if you don't, you're going to be in this situation here as soon as you get some money. So then that way you have a whole relationship with a woman 20, 30 years ago, she can come back and claim rape on you, especially if you hit the lottery. So if you get a winning ticket, you rarely damn scared to cash that bitch in because you don't know how many damn women you done slept with that's gonna say you raped them just so they can get some of that damn money that you won on the lotto. And so I just think it's real funny. And the last thing I want to say before I let someone else speak is when the twins came on Tasha K. I liked that. I did a segment about that on my channel. I liked that. When I read the comments about, well, they're white, they this and they that, what the hell does that have to do with them working with R. Kelly and knowing what their experiences is? So you mean to tell me because she white, she can't tell her story for working with R. Kelly because she white? And yet we are a society that just want to believe women. We don't want to question them. We don't want to answer questions because if you ask questions, you are a victim shamer. You know, that's the first thing they come out here. You a victim shamer. You can't ask nobody no questions. So I'm supposed to be if I was R. Kelly friend, I'm supposed to be his friend. This is what I'm mad at these celebrities. I'm supposed to be his friend. I'm supposed to know him and work with him for many years. To believe some hoes I don't even know, that doesn't even make any damn sense to me. That doesn't make any sense at all. And then these movements say we helping young black girls in the neighborhood. Ain't none of them damn movements gave any damn thing to anybody in the neighborhood since they came out in the last 3 damn years. The little black girls in the neighborhood still in a rough ass goddamn neighborhood. The little black girl being molested by her uncle still get molested by her damn uncle. Ain't nobody said shit, did shit. The woman who started the Me Too movement abandoned the motherfucker. The one who was uncharged time's up, son was charged with a rape and she stepped down. All that was swept under the rug. Then the media, they decided they wanted to join forces with the victim to take down R. Kelly and they go mute him. When do you mute somebody? Who gives somebody the say so that you were muted? We're not gonna play your music. We're not gonna hear what you got to say. We're just gonna erase you like you ain't never happened. That doesn't make no damn sense to me at all. And people sitting up here, because they're victims of something, because they was molested, they were raped, or whatever else, they lose focus on reality. They lose focus on accountability. They cannot even decipher that somebody used their mockery to make an ass out of them, only to abandon the movement. Now that woman who started the Me Too movement got her husband, got her millions, and now she gone. But yeah, you got a whole world and society and a culture that's divided, all because they didn't use common damn sense. The common sense that R. Kelly told Gayle King that the people need to use.
Thank you so much, Spittin' Fire. We have another guest in the house. Jen, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hey guys, sorry, my son, he's in the background. So I'm Jen. I used to work for Robert. Lindsey and I have been doing a lot of interviews to try to help Rob. And Lindsey's son is sick, her youngest. I know the flu hit my house last week, and now it's hit her house. Yeah. Okay. So, okay. Sorry, guys. This is real life. Okay. This is why we don't do interviews that often. It's difficult. We go watching Home Alone, Christian. This is why it's hard for us to do interviews. So, anyways, yeah, I used to work for Rob, and I am a valid witness that he is innocent in all of this. I remember when it started back in, well, I started working for him in August of 1999. And Lindsey had started working for Rob. I think it was, God, when was it? Well, she probably would have been midsummer of 1999. So it was shortly after that I started working for him. Lindsey went to school for audio engineering. Sorry.
Our iPad, please.
All right. All right. So this is real life. So anyways, so we had worked for Rob, and we didn't see anything illegal happening ever, and that's what's so frustrating. Oh, cool, little honey, girl, you got the same situation that I have. Hey, girl. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, we work for Rob. We were eyewitnesses. We know that he's innocent in this. We have our own personal experiences with his ex-wife, Bria, who's claiming that she was abused. And, during the time that I worked for Rob, it was actually the opposite. Rob was the one that we always went to for help. And she was difficult. She was a difficult person to work under. Every time I stayed at the house, she definitely made sure that I felt that I knew my place as being the help. And as far as being white, we were the minority. So, when you say the black race is or people keep trying to say stuff about us being white. No, I mean, we were at the bottom of the totem pole. Rob had his place as the celebrity. He was very secure in his role, but he was also very laid back. But he made sure that everyone knew that he was the boss, because he was. And then Drea, I don't know what her deal was, but she made sure that we knew our place. And Rob totally could have hit on us if he was predatory. He definitely could have. We were not respected in that industry and that environment. And the only reason why we even stuck it out was because of Rob. He was very protective of us, and he was always someone that we could go to for help. Rob was always around men. As far as guys coming to hang out at the studio, wanting to hang out. That was very common. It was more common for him to have the guys come and hang out while he recorded than any women. And the guys, obviously they would look at Lindsey and I as an opportunity to try to get laid. And Rob, he made sure that didn't happen. He made sure that we were in a very protected environment. And, the reason why I quit working for Rob was because his wife, at the time, Drea, was so difficult. And Rob really didn't need my help. He needed, Drea needed my help. And so for me as an assistant to stay on, I would have had to continue to assist Drea with the kids. And she was just, it was so hard. She wouldn't let me come and go as I wanted to. Like if I was a smoker at the time. So let's say I wanted to go to the gas station to get cigarettes. She wouldn't let me do that. And I would have to call Rob and say, hey, I just need to run to the gas station to get some cigarettes. Is that cool? And he'd be like, just let Drea know. It was a normal, he was normal and she wasn't. So yeah, this whole thing, as far as it being a setup, I think we're beyond that. I think we're more at a political movement here because none of this makes sense. It's not just about a black man being in jail. This is a singer who was never in charge of his career, never in charge of his money, trusted everybody, and that's what's gotten him in trouble. And Lindsey and I know how his business was ran, and we understand that he is, someone who is vulnerable and can very easily be taken advantage of. So that's why we have made this our mission, to help be his voice and help fight this for him, because we can. He's always been there for us. We haven't made any money off of this, and that's not our goal. Our goal is to get Rob out of jail. And I know people keep saying, they want us to work for Rob and to help him. We'll always be there to help him. I'm currently working on my nurse practitioner license. So the medical field is my passion, but Rob is my family, and I will continue to fight for him until he is free, because he deserves that. And what's happening to him right now is not fair. And if this case sticks without evidence, just imagine what that can do for men, not just black men, but men of all races in the future. After this coronavirus, just imagine going to a nightclub, like I was talking about the other night. Just imagine, going to a nightclub in Vegas, right? And a guy hits on a lady and wants to buy her a drink, and she's not interested. Well, let's say she finds out this guy is a multimillionaire and finds out who he is because maybe she was creeped out. Well, then this sets the bar for that example of a woman to be able to press charges against this guy and say, hey, he raped me. Give me my book deal. Get my attorney. Get the food. And that sets the bar. And then, this case is an example of that. And then judges can actually use that case as an example. So it's a whole movement that we're talking about here.
Okay, thank you, Jen. Thank you, Jen. Okay,
what's up,
Lil
Jen?
Honey, I would like you to give your input.
You're on, Lil Honey, you're on mute.
You're muted.
Hey, I'm mute.
Sorry.
Okay, you can't hear yourself.
Jen has been fired. I think they, hit it right on the nose with everything. If Rob gets convicted of something like this, it's just going to open the door and it's going to continue on and on and on. And then more men are going to be victimized by women, like Spittin Fire said. We have to stand up and protect the men now, because them victims can't advocate for a sexual assault victim. They can't speak for some sexual assault victims, the people that's really victims. they couldn't. You know what I'm saying? And if anything, they're shaming them by their actions of what they're doing. And, I think that Rob needs, to be, vindicated. I think that, this right here, what we're doing is going to open the doors for a lot of people to hear the voices of him, because we are his voice. He can't speak right now. He can't speak for himself. So I think, without saying too much, and just rambling, Jen and Lindsey, Spitfire and Lindsey, Jen, they hit it right on the nail. There's nothing, I couldn't touch on it any better.
Thank you so much, Lil Hun. I just missed Dr. McDowell. Guess I lost him. Okay, I was gonna get his input. All right, Gucci, go ahead. Back to you.
Yeah, my whole thing is, if you pay attention, Spittin' Fire said something to me, and I said it to her, said, I've been asking that same question. If you notice something, man, why does it seem like all the accusers are connected? Why? It seems like everybody is connected, coming from somewhere from the East Coast. I'm going to be real. It seemed like the bodyguards, Kip, seemed like he's connected to a lot of these accusers from, the whole Be More section is connected. I'm like, why everybody? Because this is the thing. I'm still trying to figure out all this stuff they're saying that Rob did. When I do Rob concert, Rob always be with me by himself. And we used to ride, go sit at the casino, talk the day before his show. And I always said to Rob, I said, Rob, I'm going to say something to you. You remember I told you this. And I told him this 7 years ago. Again, I said, Rob, when I was with Pac, there is no way none of my people would let Pac leave by himself to go hang out with you. At least somebody going to go. I said, Rob, every time me and you ride by ourselves, yeah, I got one of my boys with me just in case, but ain't none of these cats you got with you. You are just a money machine to everybody. Nobody cares. And then, we talk a lot. And that's why I told people, said, none of these people care for Rob. None. The more you look at it, the more you seeing the pattern. It seemed like this old thing is staged. And Demetrius said it. He take this girl to that lawyer said, I'll make you a millionaire. And it seemed like everybody run to these lawyers that can make them a millionaire. What does that tell you? It's a money factor. Nobody care about pressing charge. Everybody want money. And Sylvia, I'm going to stop because the doc is back. Ask him his opinion, then we finish talking. We don't want to lose him again.
Okay, Dr. McDowell, I'm sorry about that. You're having trouble with connection. I would like your input in regards to what everyone is just talking about in Robert's situation.
Well, my input is the same as everyone else's. We know what's going on in this country. I've done research from 1965 when they first murdered Sam Cooke behind his catalog. I've done research on Otis Redding when his plane was rigged to fall in the river and outside of the airport in Memphis, Tennessee. Done a lot of research on Prince and my friend Michael Jackson. All these men who have become internationally known, loved and adored by the world, have somehow come up dead at the hands of a doctor or some crazy fan or something crazy. So is my take on this is when have they ever cared about a black man molesting a black child? I've been in America for 60-something years and nothing, I've been in the world 60-something years, and I've never heard of them really caring about what we do to each other. So this is something that's bigger than us, something bigger than Rob, and it's something going on for people who want to control his music and control him. And my whole take is the same, what I've been saying for years, about how we black men have to, once you reach a certain plateau, you have people out there to get you, especially here in America, especially here in this country. And it's sad. And it's people like us that can change it. What we're attempting to do could hopefully wake the conscience of a nation up and make them, everybody in the world knows what's going on, the whole world. But if somebody took the bull by the horns and said, okay, let's do this, let's free Rob, let's see about getting Bill Cosby out. Everybody's been freed who's committed all these other crimes that are non-black by the president, and we know who they are, by President Trump. And when they get one of us, we end and tell the duration. And it's something that I just feel that this is very wrong. And it's going to take a nation of people to shake this big sleeping dragon that's been choking our men and our celebrities and making them look like they're nothing. And they always find to reduce us when it's sexual. Why couldn't it have been something else? But it's always sexual, that we're the sexual predators that go after little children. And it's something the world needs to understand, that it's deeper than that. And what's happening to Robert right now, I think that it's bigger than it's bigger than what the media is saying. It's bigger than what we're seeing. It's people in control that control the media and control the music industry. And that's where we are now. So I'm going along with everybody else. I hope you all can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you. It's every time you get a phone call, that's what knocks you out. So whenever you get a phone call, you have to come back in. Go out and come back in. Okay. Thank you, doctor. I have a question for everyone on the panel. We do not have the support of the mass media. What is some of your solution of us getting the word out to the mass in regards to Robert?
Doing what we're doing now. The power of this social media and just taking advantage of it. But it's got to move as one. I know some of us is probably like new to this media like that. You know what I mean? But this is the tools that we got in front of us right now. Those big media corporations and stuff like that, you got to have money to deal with them. So this right here, we can put together a forum like this and push it to the max. Get it into people's hands to see, to hear. You know what I'm saying? I think the more we do that, I think we can definitely wake that sleeping dragon up.
And I agree. We got to hit social media real hard, because let's be real. We got 4 months to show the facts. You're supposed to go to trial in New York. So we got to go hard. Every one of us in this panel, we got to start, hit hard for Rob. Just show the facts. I'm going to work on a website where we can start post it and let people read up about this case. Because let's be honest with ourselves right now. The people that are going to be potential jurors in New York, 7 out of 10 of them does not do YouTube. They may do Facebook, but they don't do YouTube. So we got to get another way of hitting the social media, whether it's IG, Twitter, or Facebook. But we got to go hard, because the thing is, nobody's doing it for him. Everybody rather talk bad about him. Everybody's scared to say something, for him. Okay? So, like Spittin' Fire said to me, we need to be his social media relation team. We need to be that. That's what we need to do, because we're so busy, with negative stuff. We need to focus on letting people know the facts. Let people know the thing. If you even take 2 minutes a day just to put out a fact about the case, somebody will read it and tell somebody. It's time we get the message out.
I totally agree with you. We definitely need to get the message out. But one of the problems and the hindrance that we're going to have is the restriction of social media. See, when they decided that they were going to go after R. Kelly, they strategically planned everything from the social media sites, from all over to the main media and everything else, because this was strategically planned. You know what I mean? And this wasn't just something that's miraculously happened. You don't just charge a man again for something 20 years ago that he got off because you didn't get the conviction that you wanted then. You know what I mean? So they made sure this time, because the perception has changed. So the people back in the day when he was first tried, they're grown up now. And they grew up with technology and they believe everything in the media. But even if you had social media, even if you had Facebook or Instagram, these are the people that they're going to go to them and try to restrict it going out. Like, we're restricted, you know, here on YouTube. We're restricted. That's one of the reasons why I like the fact that Jen and Lindsey went on Tasha K, because she had a large platform or whatever. Even though she had a micro headphones on and pretending like the audio was distorted and everything because of all this and that, you know, I knew what she was doing. But I like the fact that it's still letting people know that there are people out here who actually advocate and believe in his innocence or whatever. Me personally, if the law is doing all of this corruption to get anybody, R. Kelly or anybody, that's an automatic innocence. That's automatically should be, you know, the case should be just dismissed on that alone. You know what I mean? But then you got people, as I mentioned, just trying to sit up there and put people in these in this mind that these are little girls.
Yeah.
You know, little girls. Well, these are some real sexually active little girls then. You know what I'm saying? Nobody is ever thinking about that. Or I had people that I've spoken with that is supposed to be, I don't know what they are or whatever, but I have people that I've spoken with that saying, oh, well, I believe he did this because that girl looked young. And I have no problem with that. And I'm going to speak on that. And then I'm going to speak on Tawana Burke. She said that in the interview. Well, did you see Geronda? She looks young. Looking young and being young is two different things. Okay, we all trying to look youthful. Who the hell want to look old? You know what I'm saying? Like, who the hell want to look old? This is why we beat our face. This is why we get our hair done. Who the hell want to look like an old man? Don't get mad at me because if I'm 30 and I'm 18, don't hate on me because I got it. You know what I mean? And this man want to be with me. That's just some crazy stuff. You actually have to be over a certain age in that state to consent. You know what I mean? Now, here is the problem with the law, and I'm going back to it, and I'm attacking it because they are the ones who behind all this damn corruption. See, the law is like this, and I said it on my channel as well. If a 16-year-old girl commits a crime, kills someone, or even a boy, if she kills someone, the very law that's right now, okay, they gonna put her ass and try her as an adult. But yet they want to tell her she can't go and be with this older man that she want to be with. That's a contradiction right there. That's contradiction right there in itself. You know what I mean? Either they're adults or they're kids. Regardless of what the crime is on either side, either they're adults or they're going to be kids. You got a little boy like Dwayne Wayne's son. He's 12, want to be a girl. He can change his whole sex. But a young girl can't decide if she want to be with an older man. This doesn't make sense. You know, like the law needs to change. And people is not paying attention to none of that. But they condone that, though. They condone your little son turning into a little girl. And then the ones that are heterosexual, they trying to put them behind bars. And one of the men said, why is it that they are coming after us? And it's always a sexual predator, because that stems from way back when the laws were created. I said that on my channel. They always put out there that the black man, the Negro man, was a sexual predator. He will rape white women. He will do this. They always put that stigma on you that you are a rapist. When they tried to stop you from being free, they said you can't free them black men, them black Negro slaves, because they go rape our white women. That's exactly what that come from. And even though some of these constitutions have been abolished years ago, they still enforcing them, and they're enforcing them every day, that they charge y'all with these sexual crimes just because someone wants to say so without no evidence. Just like the young lady who gave fellatio to R. Kelly, went to the police, took a stained shirt to the police and said, look, he raped me. He forced my head and forced me to get him head and all this and that. And they didn't even investigate it because it didn't make sense. You did your own forensics. You did all of this. You knew to go to the police with a stained shirt, but you didn't know to take your ass to the damn hospital and get tested for no STD and all of that first. The police could have came there and got the damn shirt. You know what I'm saying? Nobody is paying attention to anything and how this shit is going. And sad to say, you got people out here with all these alternatives, all the ulterior motives. I want to get my sentence reduced. I want to get this done. So they setting up their own. We setting up our own people, and we're going to demolish and we're going to deplete ourselves, and we can't blame nobody for ourselves because the women are so damaged, okay, because of what happened to them, that they're going to help set up their own men. And I told them women that. All the ops, and they even said it on one of the, I think I was watching Dabowski's channel a few weeks ago, about a month ago. And a lot of them women over there are abused, and they come from bad marriages, and they come from this. Well, guess what? That's goddamn life. That's called a divorce. That's called going to the police if he abused you. That's called put a motherfucker in jail. But that don't mean everybody is like that, because nobody will want to sit up there and be labeled something because of what the last person did to you. That just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't want my son to be charged, if I had one, to be charged with rape, if he become famous because some woman mad because he didn't marry her and he married somebody else. I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? So this type of stuff is just crazy. That's why I haven't even paid attention to these parents, because if it was up to me to change the law, human trafficking and all this RICO shit they trying to get R. Kelly and Man Act and all this and that shit start at home. That shit starts at home. Because parents have to be held accountable for what they do and the choices they make for their children. They have to be held accountable. Nobody else. Talk about some, well, he shouldn't have did this, he shouldn't have did. No, you shouldn't have sent your child there. You know, that's a venue for adults. Nobody want to talk about that. Nobody want to take accountability. And that's just the problem. I can't get over that. I cannot get over that. And then this Demetrius fellow, I got to touch on this because I don't understand how a man his age get immunity. I don't understand how the other ones get immunity when it comes to children and crime against children. When it comes to crime against children, that you say that these crimes exist. Do you say that this is underage girls? Nobody should be getting immunity when it's a crime against a child. That doesn't make any damn sense to me either. So that's the government's fault right there. Then you want to sit up there and say something about blowing up the car. Now, here's the question I want to have, and I want to act as if I'm a non-supporter, but I'm gonna act as I'm a non-supporter who got common goddamn sense, and this is what I will say. So you mean to tell me that this man is incarcerated in a federal facility that's being monitored, phone calls, sleep, and everything else, and yet he still can sit up there and send someone across state lines to blow up a crowd who don't know what the hell they doing because they burnt their damn selves up? You want me to believe that man did that across state lines and his cause is being monitored? How the hell he know where they at? Because since he was arrested, that was what, 8-9 months later? Like, how would he know where they at? That's not even the first thing on this man's mind. The first thing on his mind is to get out of the facility, not trying to orchestrate all this and that and trying to make it out that this man is Al Capone. This shit don't make no damn sense. People ain't got no sense no more. Common sense ain't common no damn more. This couldn't even be a subject. I want my motherfucking tax money back. That's what my main thing gonna be. Because if we have to have people, hold on, I'm on fire now. You gotta make sense.
Spittin, I had another guest I wanted to get their input, but go ahead. I'll let you get
wait a few more seconds. Be interrupted. But see, the problem is when people sit up here and have all these issues going on, and all your tax money is being spent on this shit, right? And then next thing you know, they just doing whatever they want to. But yet your ass can't even get a $600 stimulus check in a pandemic. But they spending your money on this bullshit. Now your guests can talk. Fire out.
Thank you. Lex?
Hey, Gucci, Lindsey, who was Robert's right-hand man for over 10 years, is trying to get on, and I was trying to get her the link, and that's why I was trying to tune in. But
Did she get it?
she was trying to get on. I don't know if she's free now. She was his right-hand man, as general manager for almost 10 years.
Okay, did you send her the link?
I can't figure this stuff out, so I told her to do her own live. That's what I did, and then
No, I'm gonna
But I don't know if she's on anymore. She got frustrated, and that's what I was trying to do because, I mean,
okay, I'll send
Lindsey
her the
knows.
link. I'll send her the link right now. I'll send her the link. Okay, Lex.
But I'm not going to be a part of this if we're not going to have Lindsey on here.
Lex, I just sent her the link. Lex. Oh, did she go? Where did she go? Okay. Lex, she was just on here. She's gone. But I just sent Lindsey the link. Just tell her to click that link. All right.
You know what? While you're trying to figure something out, when it boiled down to it, everything being a setup, all these people are too connected. All these people communicate regular for them to be mentor, for them to be victims, for them to be employees. Because there is something I found out, and I'm going to say it now. With the whole situation, and Terry, I want you to finish it when I started because you helped me do the research. When Rob House got broken into, the same week his house got broken into, he was being sued by a gentleman with the last name of Walker. And it's just so ironic that the same person that broke in his name, in his house, have the same name as Walker, and come to find out, the person that was suing Barry and that Walker, they're related. Two Walkers, one sued Barry, one broke in Rob House the same week when he filed a lawsuit. It's just ironic that when everything, anybody go towards Barry, is always something towards Rob. You know, it's just ironic, and it just seemed like it's a lot because one thing people don't know, okay? Everybody's blaming Sony Records, and I've been telling everybody from the day one, stop blaming Sony. Sony is a company that is out to make money. Robert is their biggest money maker. But this is the problem that no one understands. When Barry forfeit the label Background Records, Barry ended up owing Sony Record over $100 million because they gave him $100 and I think $50 million up front, and the only person he really put out was Aaliyah. He tried to put out Timbaland and all them people. That didn't work. So he have to recoup. And you remember at that time, Barry was supposed to be managing Rob. Barry promised Sony, and I heard this directly from someone in there back in the days, that Barry promised Sony Robert Masters. And this where all of this come from. It's not Sony. Sony just want their money. Barry and Demetrius are the person behind this whole thing. Hey, Lindsey.
Hey, Lindsey.
Right? So the thing what we got to remember, I've been around this music business more than probably anybody in this thing. I've been with LL Cool J, Tupac, name it. Will Smith. I used to be Will Smith when he was Fresh Prince at Def Jam. I used to make sure I'm on the road with him. And I see this a lot. Okay? This is nothing new. When they want you, they want you. And the sad part about it, the feds didn't even want the case. Kim Fox begged Homeland Security to take the case because when 2 years ago, Donald Trump assigned Homeland Security to sex trafficking and Manhattan. Homeland Security used to be ICE. They used to be just deporting people. So They don't know what hell they're doing because I got an uncle that's a retired U.S. Marshal. And he told me that. He said most of these charges that Rob is on, Rob's supposed to be state charge. Rob have not done a federal charge.
Right.
But
exactly.
the reason why he told me, he said this to me, and I'm telling you. He said Robert is an asset to everybody. But all those so-called people he had from bodyguards down are trying to protect their own ass. So now everybody's like, well, when I was doing this, Rob no. And that's why Rob got charged with racketeering. Rob didn't know shit going on because when I do Rob in Memphis or Nashville, me and Rob do everything by ourselves. Okay, here's your money. Bye. None of those people around while they're running around outside. And I told Rob this at the last concert in 2015. I said, Rob, those people you got, you need new people because you got some groupies in your goddamn camp. I said, you backstage with an $80,000 bag I gave you money, but you got people out in the audience looking for people. How come ain't nobody at your door? All this shit is being a setup. There was no way when I was with Pac, nobody would ever leave backstage to go do nothing. Okay? The thing is, Rob never had no real dudes around him, no real people like that. I believe Rob got more loyal ladies in his camp than men. That's why.
He didn't have that many women in his camp, but he was too trusting. That's the problem. That's where everything is that he was too trusting, and now nobody wants to stand up. Like I spoke to a gentleman who's high up in the music industry who I've known for years, and I was asking him for advice, just about who I can trust, who, to talk to, who could help stand up for Rob. And he said, well, you should, get Wayne Williams involved. And I said, well, I've spoken to Wayne Williams a couple times and he hasn't done anything, big because he's, his job stability is at stake. And that's how everyone is that they're worried about their own reputations. I mean, Lady Gaga, as soon as, the Academy Awards and, things like that. I mean, she was so quick to say that she regretted her working relationship with Robert. And
that's true.
So yeah, I mean, there's, I worked for Robert for, a number of years. Diana Copeland worked for him for about the same amount of time as I did after, I did. Angie, who's helping Drea, she had worked for Robert for about 3 years, and Jenny, interned with us. And those are about, Robert can only trust me, Jenny, and I would say Diana. Now, Diana's more behind the scenes, unfortunately. But that's kind of always been her role, in the camp period. I mean, she was more comfortable behind the scenes, but, we're looking at Robert fighting for his life right now. I mean, he's going on 2 years in jail. He has not been convicted. He was not granted his right to a speedy trial, to a fair and speedy trial at that. He's lost all of his rights as an American, and he hasn't even been, through the court system yet. So, and what people don't understand, and I'm sure you're with me, Gooch, is that, people don't understand that now that this is an example, it's documented, and in the future, anyone who goes to jail, who is arrested, can be given the same treatment now based on this case alone, because they can take it to any judge and say, well, with the case of, state of Illinois or federal government versus Robert S. Kelly, he did this and this and this, and you held him until his court date was 2 years later. And they'll go, okay, yes, granted. So nobody's safe anymore. And people don't understand that. They want to be quick to throw somebody away. And that's what is going on right now, is that, the world is now in a process of, because these groupie women decided to come together and go to Lifetime television, and then Kim Fox decided she wanted some limelight too, because you did see how she changed her appearance between the first Lifetime series and the second. Girlfriend got a trainer and a stylist, okay, and then threw up an 800 number for people to call, which is also unheard of, and now this man is behind bars, and he didn't take it seriously because he believes in the legal justice system. So he thought, when I talked to Robert, because I was with him on the 4th of July before he got picked up, listening to his album with him at the Trump Tower where he lived. But before that, he never took it seriously because he was like, no way could this happen in the American, legal system. And now he's in jail and he's like, well, I'm stuck here.
Hey,
Okay.
you're so right, Lindsey. I said before all this came around in 2018, before he got even the state charge.
Yep.
I got a call from a well-known executive in the business and he said, call your boy. Lifetime got a movie coming out January, and it's going to ruin his career.
I know, people. Exactly. He did not believe it.
I called. The number I had on him wasn't working, so I called James Mason. Then I called John Olden in Florida, who was his accountant. I said, James, you better get Rob a PR and put this shit out because Rob's life is about to be ruined. You know what he told me? He said, man, we don't worry about that shit. I can correct that shit.
I know. A lot of people said that to him.
Okay.
And he said that. Yep.
And Rusty's like, Gucci. It was Rusty to me. He's like, get his number. I said, James, let me have Rob's new number. He was saying to me, I want to go to Chicago, go tell him, because I'm like, Rusty's like, he need a PR. His life is about to be ruined.
Yep.
He said Lifetime is making this documentary seem like this is something he's doing now. They are not saying that's 30 years ago. And he said social media is going to ruin him because they're going to be like, this 50-year-old man talking to 15, 16, 17-year-old girl. Because remember, in the movie, you didn't see no underage girl. But they are putting it out there like he's going around meeting girls. But this the part that I want to ask everybody. And Akon asked me this 2 weeks ago.
One question before you get into that. I have one thing that is being mentioned. Not only was it the government or the accusers, but his own people that was around him was part of him being given to the government. So why did they not protect him?
I think he surrounded himself with a bunch of uneducated people who are just out for themselves. I mean, it's very simple. It's not as complicated as what we would hope to believe, anyways. Is that he surrounded himself with a bunch of uneducated, selfish people. And like Gooch said, I mean, Robert, his camp totally changed the last 10 years. Totally changed. And he had, best way to put this, he left himself very exposed. He was not protected, okay, at all. I mean, he had, he was kind of a free agent, no more management, even though people want to paint Daryl McDavid as a bad guy, Daryl McDavid was very organized. And he kept Rob's stuff straight for the most part. You get in the music industry and you get deep in it.
I need to cut you in right there. You said Daryl McDavid kept his stuff straight, but he's the one that was paying those people.
He was keeping it straight. I mean, if you went deep into other artists, this is not what Daryl did is not unusual. It's not unusual. That management is paid to keep down the drama, period. And it's up to their discretion. Now, he may have made some poor choices and he maybe did some stuff that really ended up biting him in the ass, 20, 25 years later. But that's what management does, period. I mean, I've worked with other artists, and their stuff is just as dirty, if not worse. But their management, they don't lose their management. When the people cleaning up your shit, you keep them there. And that's why you don't hear about it.
And that's true. So remember,
I mean,
Michael Jackson first case, Lindsey, you remember they pay those people off.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's the easiest thing to do. If you're making a lot of money in your career it's skyrocketing because, you know, it's very difficult to get your career off the ground. I mean, you have, you know, for instance, when I was working with Rakim, I went to Dr. Dre's studio in Burbank, and he has a back lounge back there that has photo books on a table, and, you know, photo albums of just people that have come through the studio over the years. And I remember, you know, Kid Rock had just come out. You know, he was really, you know, hot during this time when I was there. And I was flipping through the book, and there were all these old photos of Kid Rock around Dr. Dre. And it hit me. I'm like, this guy has been around for a long time. I mean, we're talking 10, 15 years before he hit it big. So now if your career is starting to roll and you've been working 10, 15 years to get there, and all of a sudden some hoes that you could give two shits about start saying, oh, he did this to me, whatever, and you have the money, you're just going to the management's going to throw money at them. They're not going to go, oh, we're going to take this to court, because guess what? As soon as, like, for instance, Hans Zimmerman had Robert, you know, we went to LA and we were doing deals with a bunch of like Paramount Pictures, and, you know, Hans Zimmerman had Rob calling him Uncle Hans, you know, and as soon as the Sun-Times came out with an article, we're not talking court, we're not talking charges, just an article in the Sun-Times about Robert dealing with an underage girl, Hollywood dropped him like that. Yep. So, and everybody knows that it's a glass bridge, you know, with cracks in it already between artists and Hollywood. So you're not going to go fight to save your name as these crazy people are coming at you. If they're going to settle for $5,000, $25,000, you're making millions, then management's going to pay them. It's just that simple. You know, I don't care what anybody says. You know, they can have their own, you know, human rights and, you know, women first movement, or, you know, even the Black Lives Matter movement, or, you know, president, you know, the Republicans or Democrats. I don't care what organization you're a part of. You can have your own beliefs, but the bottom line is, until you've been in the music industry and you see what, you know, even, you know, Hollywood with actors and producers, people starve and they sell their soul, period, to be in these industries. And shit happens. You know,
I think I'm sorry.
But it doesn't
Lindsey,
mean that there are victims here. It doesn't mean that these people are doing bad things. They don't have time to deal with the bullshit.
And that's the main thing, Lindsey. Nobody wants to deal with it. They'd rather sweep it under the rug and leave it and hope it don't come back at them later.
Exactly. And you know what Dream Hampton should have spent her money on, rather than being this crazy woman who just decided to run with? She should have exposed Hollywood for, you know, I mean, famous people, they're eccentric. Artists are eccentric. They're not the easiest people to be around. They're not the easiest people to handle their business. You know, it's a love-hate for real. It is very difficult. It's like dealing with a toddler child all the time. Any artist, doesn't matter who it is, right?
Right.
And, you know, it's just different. It's hard to explain it to people.
A lot of people don't understand it because, like you said, a lot of them got to be around the music as I was and you are to see it. This is something regular. I see this so much. I see this with Run DMC, where they're paying off girls in Colorado, accusing them of raping. And this is it. You've been around it, Lynn. No entertainer have to rape nobody, because when you go to these shows, these girls are dying for opportunity.
Dying for the opportunity.
And they'll do anything.
Here's another thing. So I had a friend who was a banker at Merrill Lynch, and he represented famous athletes, football players, basketball players. And he told me, and he had, he wasn't, you know, trying to be famous. He was literally their money manager. And he said they have assistants hired that when these ball players go, they call it hit it, you know, with the girl, take her in the bathroom and have sex. And they have an assistant that goes to look for the used condom to dispose of it, because these girls will take the used condom to use it to try to impregnate themselves.
Yep.
And this is a real issue in the sports industry. And it, you know, it's not as much of an issue in the, you know, in the music industry in Hollywood, but definitely sports, because you're dealing with a higher bracket of money.
Yes, it is.
you know? And so these women, you know, they will come up with, that's the point, is that these women will come up with these stories. They will make it up and they will take it to the extreme until the day they die.
Yes.
Because they have nothing
Okay,
to
but
lose.
talk about Dre, Lindsey, talk about Dre's studio with doorknobs.
Well, I mean, it's just another example. You know, their studios, there are always, you know,
Yeah.
people hanging out. Always people hanging out, always wanting to get with the artists, you know. And I've, you know, Gooch, I'm sure you're the same. I've been in studios and I'm a female, but I didn't own a dress until 10 years after I left the music industry. You just don't, unless you're one of the girls trying to get with the artists. You know?
Yeah.
But you'd open up a bathroom and you better knock, is all I'm saying, because you'd walk in and it wasn't just one person in the bathroom, you know.
And you're right. And you remember, I'm sure you hear this. You remember one rule we used to have in the music business: you don't bring nobody backstage that you care for.
Oh, exactly. No, absolutely not. I mean, and that was the other thing, you know, like I said, I didn't own a dress for the longest times and I didn't have friends around me. You
Right.
know, I actually didn't keep in touch with friends. I didn't have a lot of people around me, period. You know, it just because I learned really quickly that, you know, you'd be used in a heartbeat, even your longest friends, you know. So you just fly it solo and you maneuver and you work through the industry with your job. And my job happened to be with R. Kelly, you know, on and off for 8 years. We worked really well together. And I never saw him, you know, as a matter of fact, I mean, he had, you know, he had the same girls around for the most part. None of them abused. He actually fired one of his recording engineers for putting the recording engineer went to get McDonald's for one of his girlfriends, and he brought it, and the girlfriend was upstairs. The recording engineer was downstairs, and he set the McDonald's bag on the bottom step instead of setting it on the rail. And Robert was so bothered that this woman's food was in a bag on the floor that he fired the engineer, and the engineer had been with him like for 10 years. But that's how he was. I mean, women were always held in the highest regard. So to see that, you know, he worshipped women, you know, to the extent that he did and treated them so well that now, you know, it's come full circle that it's put him in jail. It's very interesting, you know.
Very.
Just like his wife, you know, it's real sad too, because she just did an interview not too long ago about what she would do for him, what she wouldn't do, what she didn't take for him, and she had all this attitude with this interviewer, but yet she was on Lifetime and all 2019 crying her eyes out about how he hogtied her. But he's so abusive though. You know what I mean? I said, you got a whole lot of mouth for somebody to be an abused woman. You know what I mean? But people want to believe her. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't want to use common sense again. And Gucci, for what you were saying about the money, a lot of times, like Business 101, is that when they settle with these people, any, you know, entertainer or sports person, it's cheaper to settle than to actually play it out in court, because they have to pay for all this other stuff. So normally, if I'm going to spend $2 million on a lawyer to try this case, then I'm going to get nothing of it. But then she wants to only get like $150,000, $200,000. It's easy just to pay her and to move on or whatever. Like, people sue businesses all the time. Everybody who comes into a lot of money, this lawsuit comes with it. You know what I mean? And so they try their best to settle these lawsuits the best that they can. Now, unfortunately, nobody is looking into the same lawyer, you know, that took these cases. Nobody's looking into the recent lawyers that was taking these cases, talking about this all-red chick. Nobody is looking to, these are all have the same lawyer, no matter what, they're just the same one. You know what I mean? Nobody came with their own personal nothing. And then the people that did, they lawyers were crooks. Everybody in this case is a crook, but the man in jail who don't have a damn criminal record is the one that locked up. This is your society. This is your democracy, people. And that's all I have to say about it.
You,
Go ahead,
no, I was
Gucci.
telling Lindsey her mic is not on.
Lindsey, you're
Oh,
muted.
Lindsey, hold on.
Oh, here we go.
I had to mute you because of feedback. Yeah, guys, when y'all finish talking, just mute because there's going to be a lot of feedback.
Sure.
Okay. Go ahead, Lindsey.
No, I mean, our world, period. I mean, in our country especially, is in the business of throwing people away. That's what we want to do. That's just that's humanity nowadays, is just throw people away. We've lost our compassion. We've lost our desire to see, the meaning of what mankind truly is. We've lost respect for it. I mean, here we are, a panel of people right here, but what do we mean to society? Do they value us? Do they value our lives? Do they value, that even though we're on this panel, we are, woman and man, we are, wives, husbands, mothers, fathers, uncles. I mean, we are, we're human, we're layers, but we've lost that. Now we look at pictures of people because of social media and we immediately judge, and for the negative, not the positive, and then we throw them away. And it's become okay to do that, and Robert is a prime example of throwing somebody away. I mean, again, he has not seen his day in court. He has never been convicted of a crime. He has done nothing but help people grow his career. And sure, he can be an asshole, but so can the rest of us. Big deal. But has he really done harm? No. And he's locked in a small cell, just depending on when he gets to, free time and he gets his meals. I mean, that's insane, because none of us are safe now. And that's, that's what people don't understand. I really want to just power that through, that people do not understand that now that they've allowed this, none of us are safe at all.
No.
And that's scary. That's scary.
It is very scary because, like you said, Akon said it his best. He said, now no entertainer is safe against girls no more, because you don't know who to talk to. Because as an entertainer, you go to your concert, you meet a honey, and you don't know what to do, because now, is this do she want some money? Or is she gonna cry abuse or rape? You don't know what the hell to do no more. It's crazy, And I tell people that every day. Said stuff. It's like everybody got a motive, because it's a question. It's a question Akon asked me, and he said, "Gucci, as a parent," and I'm gonna ask everybody in the panel right now, and I want you to hold your answers until tomorrow. Lindsey, Jen, Sylvia, Little Honey, every lady in this panel, as a parent, you are, say, 46 to 55, somewhere in between there. You go to a R. Kelly, a Keith Sweat concert. They do a lot of bumping and grinding. Why would you bring a 16, 17-year-old girl with you to a concert? Then you put her on stage. Then the end of the concert, as a parent, you left your daughter. You didn't even wait for her. You left her there. Now, who is the sick one? Is it Robert, the sick person? No. What is your motive of bringing a 16, 17, 18, whatever, to an R. Kelly, Keith Sweat concert? Is it because he's a good entertainer? Is it because he got good record? Or is it because you got a motive? Hopefully your daughter can get with him so you can tell people, oh, my daughter is with him. I mean, come on.
Well, and that's something else I brought up is, I'm like, Robert tried to start a record label a couple times, Rockland Records and then the Chocolate Factory. But he was so self-consumed that it never got off the ground. It never launched. Okay? So, and that was another justification that people came across. Well, they were, they had the best hopes for their daughter. She's a wonderful artist and she was going to have a career. Okay, hold on. So you're taking her to this artist. His hit song is Bump and Grind, right? Or Sex in the Kitchen, and he has no record label. He has no history of developing artists. and launching them, but he's the guy that's going to get your daughter launched and you're going to leave her there? No. Very simply, no. So we know that if these parents are actually educated and they care about their kid, those are the ones that didn't take their daughters to the R. Kelly concert, and those aren't the ones that left their daughters there. Because you know that he's had millions of people in his audiences accumulatively over the years, and how many daughters got left with R. Kelly? A handful. So yes, there's motive, people, and I know that we want to, believe the victim and empower them, and but all these women are doing is taking away the voice of real victims.
Yeah.
And I have 2 sons. I have a husband. I have an amazing father that I'm very close to. But guess what? They are one female away from being put in jail.
Yeah.
No matter if it's real or not real. I could sit here right now and make up a story about one of you guys right now and have you arrested. And it would stand. And that's sick.
Yep.
Our society should not be there, and we're there.
The thing that makes R. Kelly so much of an easy target is because his previous management team should have handled that situation back in the day a little bit better than what they did. Because what you have is you have a whole entire race. Not really. I have never really heard. I can ask this right now. I have not heard not one person outside of the black race say anything really bad about R. Kelly. But our race, we can't get past this Aaliyah shit. We can't get past this sex tape situation.
Yeah.
Things that were purposely staged. And the regular person on the street, they just automatically assume, yeah, I know he was pitiful. You know he married Aaliyah. My whole thing is when y'all talk about the powers of who is in control of the media. Now, it's a lot of things that I have come across that I've just seem to make sense.
I mean, Gooch would remember the power, and people don't realize this because we're dealing with such a new generation, but Barry Hankerson is an evil, evil man, dirty man, and people don't remember him. They don't realize the power, and they're like, oh, all this happened. No, look up Barry Hankerson. Look at what he did to Missy.
So let me ask you a
Timberland.
question. Let me ask you a question, Lindsey.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did anybody do their homework? How did Dream Hampton become a part? Because what I found out is
I don't know.
It's kind of ironic to know that she's from the same hometown this man is from.
All I can say is Dream Hampton is a nobody, and the only reason why we know her name is because somehow she got some sort of deal with Lifetime. And I mean, I have no idea, but she's a nobody. Okay. She made this documentary. She did a lot of freaking damage. We could, like Hurricane Katrina, we could call it Hurricane Dream Hampton. It's a one-off. It came through and it made a huge fucking mess.
And from my understanding, because I actually saw a Instagram post of one of the alleged victims posted about another season of this Surviving R. Kelly coming out. And, I think when it comes down to where we are right now, I think, that should just be boycotted. After everything that everybody has seen tonight, the audio recordings that you've heard tonight, I think should be the first line of business to go boycott that.
I tried to do that last year. I tried to make people not watch that shit last year but everybody was tuned in last year. Nobody did a live, nobody did a video. Everybody was sitting up there watching the aftermath, whatever the shit was called, the second part of that series. And I made sure I did not watch that. Like, I made sure of it. I'm not putting my shit on that shit ever again. because they got me on here fighting, being called names, dragged on every social media because I'm defending this man. I'm not watching that bullshit. Period. Sorry, but I'm not.
Yeah, Hurricane Hampton. I'm telling you.
Okay, guys, I would like to introduce Mr. Joseph. He's in UK. Mr. Joseph, introduce yourself.
Yeah, well, good morning, everyone. Sorry, I was waiting for it, but I don't know. I slept up on the couch because when I learned about it, so I don't know, due to the time difference. So obviously, sorry, I'm late to the show, but I think it's not over yet. But our support for R. Kelly still remains, unshaken. So we believe he's innocent. It's all, I would say, just a bunch of, media hype, fraudulent accusers. We haven't seen the evidence of all the things they've accused him of. In the media, the sex dungeons, slaves, everything. It's all nonsense. To be honest, he was here in the UK. I don't think this would have happened because they would have told, I think his trial would have started, and obviously, I'm sure his accusers would have even be ashamed of coming to court. So it's just a bogus indictment. I've seen all the indictments, and I'm like, this is nonsense. I don't know, but I don't know how in America you indict people, there are no criminal investigations. No one can even see, read the report. It's absolutely nonsense what's going on in America. You bring
That's what I
cases to
said,
court.
Joseph.
You bring
I
cases to court. There are no investigations. It never happens
Yeah.
here in the UK. Honestly, you can't just indict someone, bring them to court, and there are no police reports.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. We haven't seen anything. It's just all media. You do even the surviving R. Kelly is just illegal. You don't do things like that to just ruin someone's career of over 30 years. You don't do that.
And they're not.
I can't just believe it. Honestly, the kind of things going on in America, I can't believe it. It can't happen here. Rule of law is very strong here. So I don't know, but something just needs to be done. Even the prosecutors are corrupt. How can you be hiding? How can you be hiding discovery? From his defense team. What is all that?
Mm-hmm.
What is all that? Keeping someone under detention for one and a half years. What is all that for? If you're sure of if you're really truly sure of your discovery of what you're accusing this man of, why are you postponing the trial? You keep postponing and postponing. Meanwhile, this man is he's not on bond. He hasn't got bail. I don't know. Even the prosecutors, I don't really trust them, to be honest. Everything you don't need to support the truth. If you know you definitely have something against this man, bring it forward. Let us see. But we haven't seen anything yet. And I keep telling people, honestly, I'm just amazed that America can treat someone like this. This wouldn't happen here in England. I'm telling you, in the UK, it will never happen. It will never, ever. In Germany, it won't happen. In Netherlands, it wouldn't happen. Rule of law is strong in Europe. It's strong here in the UK. I don't know why American justice system is just turned into a bunch of tissue paper. I don't even know what it is, to be honest. It's just nonsense. I'm telling you guys. So, that's our own take. We believe R. Kelly is innocent. He's innocent of the charge. And then you can't bring a case someone has been acquitted of before you go and repackage the case again and bring it and now say, oh, you're trying him again. Come on, that's double jeopardy. That's on BS, to be honest. We're looking at everything. It's a you can speak to your lawyers even here. I have spoken to some of my legal from like, what is all this? No. This doesn't have. This is all illegal stuff, honestly. So we're waiting to see what's going to come out of of the trial in April. But I'm very sure that George is biased. All the pronouncement denying him bail every time, that judge is biased and she's racist. And I don't trust her. And I'm saying it. If she truly knows that she's really fair, she should have given him a bond and allow him prepare for trial. Why can't you be fair? Meanwhile, the prosecutors have the time of day to do whatever they like behind the scenes. Why can't R. Kelly? Why can't R. Kelly, have a fair trial? Why can't he just give this man a fair trial? Why? You're just accusing him. Everything is so one-sided. Just look at the whole thing. And now, even the accusers we're talking about, I don't know what R. Kelly's legal team is doing, but if they're really serious, do a comprehensive, legal due diligence on all these accusers. Going back 20 years. This thing is not difficult. Compile everything on every accuser. Compile all the cases, everything against them. I'm telling you, you can shred all of them under detailed cross-examination in court. This case is not difficult. This is an easy case. I'm telling you. I'm not a lawyer, but I work with lawyers. I'm a banker. But I know all these accusers. Don't tell me you will find death on all of them. And they don't have jobs. They don't have careers. What do they have? All these accusers. Look at all of them. I've looked at all of them. They're all scallywags. They don't have nothing. Are you telling me these are the type of people R. Kelly's rolling with? A high-profile R&B singer of 30 years? Oh no, please. These are ghetto. These are ghetto people. I don't know. No, I don't. You tell me sort of R. Kelly's stature with these type of accusers? Oh no way. I don't believe it. This is a bunch of BS. I'm just hoping that R. Kelly's going to have some good lawyers, because right now I have my doubts about his legal team, and there's a lot of BS going on in New York. There's a lot of BS going on. The Chicago cases, I doubt them. All those sex tapes they're talking about, I don't trust those sex tapes. They're all lies. You don't bring up something from the last trial, you now say, oh, this is the tape. Which freaking tape? Of what? Of about 20 years? How did you get the tape? From where? Where are the sources? Detailed forensic examination must be subjected to everything the prosecutors are bringing forward. They must be cross-examined from a forensic perspective. I'm telling you, these prosecutors, they can't defend many of these things they're talking about when you carry out detailed forensic evidence. So I'm just hoping, R. Kelly's lawyers are watching and they're going to do their own work, because I know the government cannot prove this case. The onus is on the government to prove, the date, the time when all these things happened. And all these accusers, they should come and prove it in the court of law. We want to see it live. Come and prove it. How you tell me R. Kelly did all those things? Yes, all the dungeons, everything, all the children they said he molested, bring them forward. The date, the time, we want to see everything. Oh yeah, if you want to make bogus statements about someone and bring them down, then you should be able to prove it with the date and the time. All the phone records, all the records, anything they have, everything should be subpoenaed and should be cross-examined in court. Oh, it's getting hot now. So yes, that's what R. Kelly's legal team should do as well. Bring the heat on all of them. This is the way it should be done. You're going to get very, very legalistic with this case, to be honest. That's the only way R. Kelly is going to get off, because all the indictments there are all nonsense. I know they can't prove it. How do underage children get come to a concert for people who are 18 plus? How do you beat the security? How? Where did you get the ID from? From where? Where did you get the ID from?
Hey, you said something right, Joseph.
Where do you get the ID from? I want to know. How did you beat the security?
Oh,
every concert he brings, he gets access to underage girls through through what? Through his concert. Really? What kind of BS is that?
Right, but one of the accusers said she was led backstage by one of the security. So why are you blaming R. Kelly? Why?
Really, the promoter should be sued. That's who's in charge.
This is the thing, Jen, Lindsey. The reason why you can't sue the promoter, when you make an agreement with the arena, right? The arena, when they ask you, what's the age group? Every R. Kelly, I said 21. And if you're under 21, you got to be accomplished by an adult, right? So that's on the arena. So now just say you was 17 and you want to go with me, and I buy the tickets. Now, we don't know who is who, because you're supposed to show the arena the ID to buy the ticket for the person on the age. So when you come to the concert and they scan you your ticket, they don't know if you're 20 or you're 90 or you're 10. They don't know, because now your tickets is being scanned. You didn't say an age. So the thing is, like I was telling someone, from now on, certain concerts, if I say 21, it got to be 21. No more under 21, because now, since these artists can be trapped this easy, no,
Yeah.
you got to be a 21.
And accompanied by an adult, Gucci.
I didn't want them accompanied by an adult. I want them come over 21, because those adults got narrative too. That's how come all these girls. For example, look at Angelo. Angelo brought his daughter.
Yeah,
and
that's
he left her. Let's be real.
Okay, one more thing. You know, normally when you buy tickets, like I know I bought all these R. Kelly tickets back in the day when he came to London. Ticketmaster, I think, is one of the global agents who sell tickets. Normally, when you buy a ticket, they put it there that you have made a self-declaration that you are 18 and above.
There you go.
On the ticket.
Yeah. There you go.
And every ticket. So how are you going to blame R. Kelly there?
Exactly.
When you've already made a self-declaration that you're 18 and above.
And that's true, because when look,
So
I was
how is it R. Kelly's fault?
And that's
Come on.
true.
Enough
You're
of
right.
all these BS. To be honest, this is BS.
Both of you guys are right. I
buy it.
remember being in high school, the 12 play concert. I was 17. They didn't ask us for no ID. It said that you had to be a certain age, but we bought our tickets and went on to the concert just like anybody else.
But when you bought that ticket, there's going to be a small print there that will make you say that, okay, I declare that I'm blah 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 blah, that I'm of age for buying this ticket, because this ticket is for what? 18 plus and above. It's like when you buy the CD, they put parental advisory. On every form of those CDs when they sell them, they put adult content on it.
Yeah.
So how do you come for an adult concert and you say you're underage? And how do underage children, how do you say R. Kelly's transported children, through what's it called? What's that term they used again? Sex trafficking over state lines. How did the children pass through the airport without an adult there?
Exactly.
How? Come on, you tell me.
Exactly.
Are you telling me they don't check IDs at the airport any longer?
Hey, and look, if you're under 18, right, you can't get on the plane. An adult got to take you to the stewardess. You show them.
Come
you
on.
check them in.
Come on. No one is at the airport checking IDs any longer.
Okay.
Come on. This is a BS. Come on. Please, come on. Common sense isn't common any longer. Bunch of stupid prosecutors that just come in, just drafting bogus indictment. You read indictment, I'm like, are you sure these people studied law? You read, I'm like, what is all this? Oh, Mann Act, all these. I read all these things, and I'm like, what is all this? I shake my head. In America? Really?
No, it's crazy. America, like I said, America wants to just throw people away. That's what we want to do. That's it.
No.
Because this doesn't make sense.
No.
This doesn't make sense.
No.
You know what?
This is. I've dealt with BS before. There was a time I was meant to travel to Florida through Gatwick, and one of the Homeland Security just singled me out from a line, and I was just carrying the Wall Street Journal and Financial Times, and all of a sudden, where you going? And I'm like, I'm going to Florida. What's the problem? Well, this and that. I said, excuse me, for what? I said, you just singled me out of everyone. Okay, here's my passport. I give him my passport. He looked at it. There's something wrong with your name. I said, excuse me. What is wrong? What? I said, have you checked my passport and realized that nothing is wrong in there? I said, you haven't even done any due diligence. I said, oh, I see you work for Department of Homeland Security. Okay, so that doesn't mean you shouldn't do your checks first. What has my name got to do with the legality of my passport?
Yeah, they don't do that no more.
I started questioning him. I said, gentlemen, this is England, you know that. I said, our passport you're looking at is linked to my daughter's passport. And I've also countersigned for 6 other people to get their British passport. I said, I'm waiting for you to first check that passport with the UK Home Office first before you tell me any other thing. So you need to call the UK Home Office to check the validity of that passport, if it's legal first, before you begin to make any silly assumptions. Oh, you're getting aggressive. I said, no. It's because I know my right and I know the law. And I'm telling you right now, this guy's a white guy, but I know this guy is racist. And I know this thing is very common in America. I questioned him there, and I made him, and while I was talking to him, I was facing the camera. He thought he was very smart, but I got him there, and I got all his details. Oh, you're being aggressive. Oh, this and that. I said, it's got nothing to do with that. He said, you're not going to fly. I said, no. I said, this is England. I said, if you're not careful, I will write a petition against you, and you will be sacked from your job. I'm telling you, you try me and see. I said, I hardly lose petitions here in the UK. I will take you up. Don't try me. So after a while, he looked around and he saw what was going on, and some white folks were watching. And afterwards, he backed out. They said, okay, well, just stop being aggressive, blah, 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 this and that. I said, okay, thank you very much. Can I have my passport? Now, what am I trying to say? In America, there's a lot of injustice against black men, most especially when black men don't know their right. It's very important for our people, to know their right. For me, what's happening to R. Kelly is very sad, but I'm hoping that there's some people around him that are working for him. That is just my prayer, that there's some people around him, regardless of how high profile he is, the American justice system is against black men, and they want to do something bad to him. That is why there's so many charges, bogus charges against him, because they're trying BS. If he was if he was white, I don't think it would be happening. I'm telling you, that's a fact. So there's also a lot of discrimination going on here.
I want to give an example. For example, recently Sting was charged with having sex with underage. Have you noticed after the initial accusation, indictment, you haven't heard anything else about it, have you?
I didn't even know about it. See?
No.
Have you guys heard about
I'll
it?
tell you something else. But guess what? I'll
Haven't
tell you
seen
something else,
15-year-old.
Sylvia, that we haven't heard about. When it comes down to a RICO charge that seems to have disappeared in Atlanta, Georgia, but seemed like it has reappeared in New York. And that RICO charge was against
who?
Hankerson.
Exactly. Nobody knows that.
I mean,
Nobody.
how do you charge R. Kelly for RICO?
So what was the statement say?
I still don't understand that part.
Terry, repeat that again, Terry, about the disappearance of the Atlanta charge on Barry Hanson's son and how it picked up on Rob.
Barry Hankerson's son, Gladys Knight's son, has a racketeering charge, same charges basically that's in New York, but you don't hear about him anymore. He just tried to throw his mama under the bus last year because she got her rights back to her name from the restaurants and stuff. He was reported of having sex parties and all this different stuff. And it's really, crazy to me to know that charge in Atlanta disappeared, but it reappeared in New York.
Because of Barry. Barry is trying to cover up a lot, and he's putting a lot on Robert. I found a lot of stuff out. Demetrius and Barry, from day one, been trying to hold a lot of stuff over Rob Ed just in case this time comes. I was told that it's three people in the camp they want, and because Robert won't say nothing, he got the racketeering and the main charge put on him. Okay? Robert is not the issue. The feds already turned the case down, and that's how Kim Fox went to Homeland Security to pick it up on the so-called Manhattan. Because this is what people don't remember. In Chicago is 17, Atlanta something is 16 something, but New York is 18. So that's why New York charged him with those, because Azriel was 17, I guess, when she said she first visited New York. So they hitting him in New York because New York age is different. That's why they're saying he bring these girls across state line to New York when he go perform. It's a lot of BS. And the thing is, in New York, they got it so messed up that they don't give you bond for manhunt nor sex trafficking charge.
But guess what, Gooch? She got a new client she's trying to go after now. She's trying to go after Drake. She's trying to go after Drake, ain't she?
Oh yeah. Well, Drake Daddy already told me nothing happened because Drake Daddy live in Memphis, and Drake Daddy said Drake ain't even got time to put nobody on to do their career because he's so focused on his own career. So the thing is, that's a done deal because when Drake was in Vegas, she spent $2,000 on a VIP to get a table to sit in the VIP where Drake at, and one of my homies rolled with Drake. Said they didn't pay her no mind, and she was mad.
Okay, Gucci, I would like to hear from Jen because I see she's smiling and shaking.
Oh, go ahead,
Jen. No, I mean, I'm just listening because I can definitely relate. I mean, yeah, they were trying to do the same thing with Timbaland, and we're close with Timbaland's camp, and I mean, it was pretty much the same thing. The thing that they don't realize is that Rob is so nice and that he's willing to give people chances because he's such a kind soul. And the rest of the music industry, these artists that are signed, they don't work that way. They're not that nice. And that's what's so funny, because these, like Azrael, she's definitely trying to make a career off of this, and it's not going to work out the same because these people are not the same as Rob. Rob has a good heart and a kind soul, and he's very loving. And the rest of these people they're very business. They've built their career. They've worked hard. They've gotten lucky, and they're not going to throw that away for some groupie.
Absolutely. And you know what else, Jen? I don't mean to cut you off, baby, but you know what else too? They don't want the drama. People. She thinks that she can go to Drake and she thinks she can go to Timberland. You too dramatic for them and their career. They're not going to sit up there and deal with you. They're not going to deal with you. You're not going to be this victim and we're going to pick you up and make you a big star. No, you're too dramatic. You got too much going on in your bag and everything else. And when things don't go your way with me, you're going to say something about me, and I don't have that kind of time for you. They're going to deal with that. Like, they don't want drama. You know what I mean? So that wasn't a good thing. But the thing that they're doing, they're trying to make a career out of it. You can't be a real victim if all you do is have to keep his name in your mouth. If you're supposed to be a real victim, you're supposed to be moving on for yourself. You know what I mean? And they're not doing that. So you're right about that. They don't want to be bothered with no mess. They don't want to be bothered with no chaos either, even though they're not as nice as R. Kelly. I'm just saying, fire out.
Okay.
Well, yeah, and then I know for a fact that Timberland would rather have a nap than conversate with a groupie. I mean, that's how hard he works. He would, if he has to choose between having a conversation with the female fan or take a nap, he's going to take a nap. And that's what these people don't realize. These artists are working so hard. They're on these tight schedules. Rob doesn't need a lot of sleep. He's a go-getter. He's a hard worker. He's very different in that aspect. But the rest of these artists, they would rather take a nap. And that's the truth.
And you know something, Jen? That's something that I wanted to touch on as a recording artist. Like, again, the public has been so blindsided by the mainstream media and these docuseries and stuff like that. As an artist myself, I know damn well I'm not going to have time to be creatively constructive when it comes down to music. It's so much that factors in to the lifestyle. And the thing about R. Kelly is not only as a recording artist, but he has the lifestyle of a entertainer. You know what I'm saying? So that's like combo situation. You know what I'm saying? So me being a recording artist myself, and you know, wanting to have that creative space, you know, you don't want to be around too many people that does not have that type of creative juice as you're putting together projects, putting together songs, stuff like that. So that's the thing that I think the public really don't understand, and they got blindsided. They get blindsided by a surviving R. Kelly, or they get blindsided by an article in the magazine or interview. And the thing about it is, man, that's what those particular tools are to do, to disrupt our mindsets, to make us believe some shit that's not really happening.
Okay, guys. It's 10:16, and I'm gonna try to wrap it up. But I just need to know, guys, what is the solution?
Sylvia, can we play that one video that we tomorrow we can talk about? You know, the one where she showed all the setup, everything. The one that you went to
That one.
in the fit.
All right, let me go get that one.
Yeah, and then.
Sir, I just want to ask you a question. Jan, are you going to be at the R. Kelly trial?
Right.
For the April and September?
I have definitely submitted my testimony, and if they want to use us, they can. I've definitely offered that. I am a valid witness. I was there, and I can definitely testify that he's innocent. You know, as far as his main attorney, Lindsey's talked to him maybe once, and Steve hasn't reached out to me at all. I was talking to Doug, and then I kept hearing rumors about the switching of attorneys. But you know, when it comes to the legal system, that's fine. They can work that out. I'm not worried about that. I am available.
I have a question for you, Jen. As far as like character letters and things like that, have you done any of that stuff for the judge? Because the reason I'm asking is because recently, Maxwell, the woman Maxwell, has gotten different people write character letters for her to help her get out on bail. I'm just wondering, since you have been so close to Robert and also Lindsey, have you guys decided to write to the judge and tell him your relationship with Robert and how well you know the type of person he is? Have you guys done it? You have?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. We sure have. We have, and we've done as much as we possibly can. We've been so involved, you know, trying to reach out to these attorneys and giving them letters, and then reaching out to the judge.
So have you written the judge's subject?
You know, we try to check in.
The reason I'm asking, because in the Pacers, I've only seen supporters' letters. I haven't seen any of you guys' letters.
That's not
I've
good.
seen supporters. I mean, I could give you all the names of supporters who actually wrote letters, but I haven't seen anything from anybody close to him. Because you know, I stay on the court information. I stay on it, so that's why I'm asking. Because I was trying to figure out why that the people that were so close to him, now he's in need, they all disappear. You know, people want to get on there to get fame and notoriety, get on Lifetime and stuff like that. But when the rubber hit the road, I don't see them out there. That's all I'm asking. And there's no offense to you or anybody. I'm just asking that question because
I'm not doing it at all. I'm wondering the same thing. We have submitted letters. We have tried to do so much for Rob. I don't understand why that's missed. Maybe I could get with you and find out. I have no idea how to look this stuff up or to even verify. All I can do is submit. But I've got the letters.
You can give me a letter. I can get it over to the courthouse. Trust me, I can do that for you.
Okay.
What'd you say?
How about we start, since we got over 300 people, how about we start like a supporting cast letter and we all submit it? Not nothing about free R. Kelly, this. Something about him as a man, as a human being, as a person. Because all that stuff about free R. Kelly does not work. The judge don't care about
Yeah.
that. We need to show the judge about the kind of person he is, the given person he is, how he do for this, how he do for that. You know, that's the letters we need to do as a group, and we start sending in. That way, later on, when the judge, you know, if anything, the judge can see all this and take all these letters into consideration. Because that's what they do with these letters. You know, if it's sentencing, whatever, they look at all these letters and said, you got a lot of supporters, said you're a decent person. I'm going to take that in consideration. I'm going to do this. So how about as a bunch of people that's supporting Rob, right? How about we all, you know, get letters and we all write about the person he is. You know, if you see him at a concert, you tell how joyful he was, how respectful he was when he said hello to you. You know, stuff like that. That's what we need.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that's awesome. But Sylvia, I could use your help because I have a valid letter that I've submitted. Obviously, it hasn't been recorded, so please help me get that. And can I message you on Messenger or
Somebody get my email for her so then I can exchange information. Mods, please put my email. It's Park.
Your
I got your inbox. I inboxed you. Do it. Hold on.
Okay, because I do.
And Jen, I got a question. Jen?
Right, as far as everybody else, I mean, yeah, I think that's awesome, huge. I really think that's great. But I really do. I mean, I do have a letter, and I have sent it to all the attorneys, and obviously, okay, I got it, Sylvia.
Okay.
Little honey.
Guys, everybody mute your phone because we hear feedback. Only one person at a time. Thank you.
Miss Honey, introduce Jen to Nicole, since you know you speak to Nicole too. That way she can at least talk to Nicole, you know, somewhere, because Nicole return phone call, Jen. Nicole do return phone call, and Nicole will talk to you regularly. That's one thing with her. If you got nothing to do with Robert as a person, she will return your phone call.
And if you want your letter sent to her office, you can send it to me because I'm up the street from the pole.
And then I have a question. I know that it was said that Rob financial affairs
Okay, your
are
phone
his
is
money
going
is
in and
tied
out.
up, and
Little
you know
honey,
he's getting
you're going in and out.
He's getting. I can't hear you guys. Sound stuttered.
You're going in and out. You're
But
going in and out.
Okay, Sylvia, play that thing. Let's watch it. That way everybody can get an idea who didn't see it.
Okay, I have to get it first. Go ahead.
Oh.
Let her finish talking and I'll find it.
Where's she at? Oh, she gone. But yeah, Jen, I think that's what we all need to do. You know, remember, in 4 months, he's supposed to be going to trial, right? So it's time for us to start, you know, showcase him as a human being, not as a monster as they trying to say he is. Because the Robert I know, I've never seen a monster issue, you know, and I see Robert at least 10 times a year in concert that I'm doing. So I see him a lot. And I've never, like I said, I don't see that. I don't. I'm sorry. You know, so, and I told everybody, and everybody will agree. I told people I don't care what they say about me, how they attack me. I'm never going to stop this fight, because the reason why, Robert is a person I consider a friend. We talk about a lot of stuff that we laugh and like, oh my God, why are you telling me that? And I made a lot of money with Rob because Rob gave me a good deal on his concert, and I will not turn my back on Duke. I'm sorry. I will not. I don't care about nothing. Like I told people, When me and him together, we don't talk about his personal life. One time I joked with him about how the hell you date Drea, and he said, "Man, shut up, leave me alone." And I start laughing, and that's the only thing. But we kid a lot about the casino. We kid a lot about smoking cigar in Miami. That's what we joke a lot about. Let's go to Miami, go smoke cigar, drink white rum, sit on the South Beach. We kid a lot about that. So the person I know, I'm gonna do for him. I don't care about what they want to say he is and this. I never saw that, and I do him a lot of concert. I've never seen him have so-called young girls he bringing with them like they're trying to stay on the bus. I'm like, dude, I see every bus he brought into Memphis, Nashville, Alabama, and I ain't seen no bunch of young girls in gray jeans, gray sweatpants walking off no bus. But everybody is trying to put their thing in this so they can get a book deal. From security guards down to bus driver. You're driving a damn bus. How the hell you know what's going on behind you? You're supposed to be looking in front.
And that's the thing that's what people don't realize, that if you're driving the bus, you're not that involved. You're in charge of driving the bus, and that's it. That's your job. That's what you do. That's your focus, not the artist. And then all of a sudden, your testimony is valid. I mean, that doesn't make sense. If you're in the industry, I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
Okay. Gucci, I'm ready for the video.
All right, Lindsey, I want you to watch the video. Go on.
Wait, I wanted to say this, you guys. So what I was saying before, I don't know what happened, but from my understanding, a lot of his money is tied up because of all of this, and he's getting default judgments. All those civil cases that's like with the studio and things like that, that just shows you the corruption within the judicial system, that these people are getting default judgments on him. You can see the studio is not even, it was over $1.2 million that landlord got. And, that's why he's having such a hard time. Even if he wanted to bring somebody else on to his legal team, his money is tied up and frozen by the feds, and he can't do it. So, it needs to be a legitimate defense fund where the money goes to help to go strictly to the lawyers that's on his case. So there is other people that's willing to come in and help him, but they can't because his money is tied up and frozen by the federal government while this case is going on. And so that's what I wanted to, kind of put out there, with these default judgments. He's not there. He doesn't have an attorney there to represent him. He might get the paperwork, but they know he's incarcerated, so he can't come in and even, defend himself or have someone speak for him.
And a lot of that default judgment, they're not going to get no money because they got appeal. Because the feds is not going to bring you from a criminal case to a civil case. So although they got judgment, they're being upheld. Let's watch this, and I want everybody to voice. Spittin' Fire, I need you to voice your opinion on this.
Okay, and everybody's going to have 2 minutes to respond because we're not going to do it all night. All right, here we go.
Attorney, I want you to talk about the legal hurdles that you had to go through in order to get to the point where we are now.
Well, I mean, we face a gamut of legal hurdles. First and foremost, the first question was whether or not these women were over age. And once it was determined that they were of age when they met him, we faced a host of issues. And so, like Tim said, 3 years ago when they came in my office, after he called me, I first started to strategize, how can I help? Because legally there weren't too many options. But what we had to do was destroy the narrative. that's been surrounding this individual and many cases like this, that these are women that no one cares for, that these are women that no one will fight for. And so we took a outside the box approach, and we started to destroy the narrative. We had to convince men and women across the country to believe what was going on by taking apart the easy predation that's going on right in front of your eyes. To get to the point they are. But what we had to do was to change the minds of prosecutors, to change the minds of people in the industry, and to ultimately bring Mr. Kelly.
Everyone in this documentary, if you think you have some criminal evidence, go to the police, local authority, but definitely go to the FBI. And said they was on a tour bus. Right. Go to the FBI because they on a tour bus, so they crossing state lines. So it becomes federal. So the FBI is the person, the Alphabet Boys is the one you need to go to make sure that this get addressed. And I hope the FBI is watching this. You need to address it. Shanti did go to the FBI. The Claras went to the FBI. Geronda went to the FBI.
Well, we did our initial research in the beginning. So I had read an old article.
It's one thing if you pick an artist who you don't really know anything about, but there were plenty of stories about R. Kelly long before any of this happened, where if it's true about the father knew what's up. And not that I'm not saying R. Kelly did something. There were allegations that he did.
No flaws, nigga. It's savage, nigga. You better get with it, boy. You know what time it is, nigga. Yeah, I ain't playing no motherfucking games with you, boy. I gave you 120 hours to get back in touch with me, nigga. R. Kelly, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Robert R. Kelly, the singer, you bitch ass nigga. I got you, boy. Yeah, come fuck with me. This Savage, Tim Savage. Fuck you, nigga.
Father, what she said was, Dad, you know what's going on between me and R. Kelly. Now we know what it is, because she's saying that her father actually helped orchestrate her ending up in R. Kelly's house in the first place. Her father said, you know what? If you go spend some time with Mr. Kelly, you travel with him on the road, he can take you under his wing. It's going to further your career in music.
Which is kind of the opposite of the story that they've been preaching to the press and everything. They've been saying that, you know what, they almost acted like she snuck off without their permission. And it was allegedly her dad who physically drove her to somebody who then took her to R. Kelly.
Doing my initial reporting after Jay Savage first emailed me on November 2, 2016. From May through mid-July 2017, I worked with my colleagues at WBEZ to post the cult story on the website that hosted my blog of music news and criticism.
money, how I do this shit. It's not about the money or the views it get. But it's about a dummy and he fooling with. My fucking sister, he retarded and he losing it. In her career, he ruined it. Y'all niggas stupid if you think I'm gonna be.
Tim and John Julian Savage, who've been at the centre of the campaign against R. Kelly, who warned Faith about getting a blood test.
I had been in contact with Savages, and Mr. Savage, he was like, I just want to let you know R. Kelly has an STD. So I went back and I got a blood test, and it came back positive.
People, it's the number that I put down there. Her name is Kimberly Fox. She needs to be called every day until they do what they need to do in Illinois about this. It's another young lady that came out, and I'm telling you, her story is crazy. All the details I cannot share right now, but her story is crazy.
With the transition that she made against your will and against your knowledge, why is it now, her being 22 years old, do you feel that she is being held against her will? I want to bring you in if you want to. Yes,
Okay.
please, Tim.
The reason why I think my daughter's being held against her will, because my daughter is suffering from herpes right now. And she was given that disease by R. Kelly. Because I took her to the doctor and found out that she had chlamydia. And when I found out she had chlamydia, I was waiting for other tests to come back. And eventually her roommate told us that Jocelyn was suffering from herpes because she was a nursing student and she was treating Jocelyn.
Yeah, because you went to jail. You were sleeping with me as a minor. Lying bitch. With me as a minor. Liar. Bitch, I know how to fight. I know how to fight. I know how to fight. I'm pressing charges too. You're crazy. I'm pressing charges too. Kimberly, I'll press hard for you. You're going to jail, mama. You're going to jail, mama. Jail. Where my phone at? Where my phone?
When Ash left here, she left here to go to Chicago to break Jocelyn's phone. They got the cable cut back on in the trunk from here. Paid for it here. Was supposed to go to Chicago, break Jocelyn's phone so they couldn't call. You hear me? To break her phone. Her and her friend named Taylor to break her phone. And her and Taylor was going to make her watch Surviving R. Kelly for 18 hours straight.
I will never be on anything a part of surviving anybody. Period. If I do anything, it's going to be by myself on my own dime, and I have creative rights over everything. Because I would never want my story to be chopped and screwed. I saw a lot of the people on there was saying that their story was chopped and screwed, you know, including my parents, and I would just never.
Savages knew about this. Savage's daughter knew about this. This can be corroborated. All of that pressing charges. Who do you think she was on the phone with before she was calling the police? She was on the phone with me. Yes, press charges. Press charges. We're trying to get her away from the Trump. Go home to your damn parents. They calling, go home to your parents. Here, take the last of this budget. Because he drops it off to $10,000, $12,000 a month. And this is the budget. This is your money for the month. See, I know how it go. And he's the money man. He's the one that drops it off. Because that's what his best friend want him to do.
So y'all see all the BS behind that, right? So y'all see where this whole fight stuff came from, this whole thing. Spitting fire. What do you think?
Well, first of all, I think that Joycelyn Savage should definitely start filing some lawsuits. Okay, you said that I slept with you as a minor, and you pressed charges on me and had me get arrested and had to be fingerprinted and go to a lawyer and all these type of things and all that kind of stuff, only to not show up in court and everything. You need to definitely press some charges there. You know what I mean? I definitely would sue Azriel personally. And then another thing about that is for assault and battery as well. Okay, I would definitely sue her for assault and battery because you will sit up there and tell, oh, you slept with me as a minor and all that kind of stuff. Now she's glorified being a victim. Now she's saying, okay, I can put being a victim on you and I can do this. And then you have a man that's been on YouTube for a year and a half. 20 hours out of the 24 hours of the day, talking about put her in jail because she need to get away from the children. That's a grown woman. She goes and comes where she wants to. You have no right to restrict her freedom because of what you feel she need to get away from. If R. Kelly is her man, she is one to be with him. She's grown to make that decision. It's not her dad's responsibility or business. It's not his responsibility or business or either one of our responsibilities or business. That is sad that he want her to go to jail. This is how they're manipulating the system and putting this man in jail now. Now they want to put Joycelyn in jail and everything else. These are the reason why the FBI need to sit up there and do a double take on these charges that they have against him and start charging these parents or whatever. Furthermore, they said they wanted to get their daughters back. Well, when Azriel went back home, she didn't do nothing but go back off. I mean, I don't see no different. Even when she was on Gayle King and Gayle had made a comment and said, oh, she should be in college somewhere or doing this. She ain't doing nothing with herself to self-persevere. All she's doing is talking about she helping some victims that she didn't even know she was a victim. You don't even have the experience enough to even help another victim if you claim to be a victim and you just recently became one. Okay, you don't even have enough experience to help me with mine. All I can do is tell you my story. She needs to be sitting on somebody's couch. How do you go from being a person who tried to commit suicide to then stand with a man that you claim that you love? Then somebody had to tell you that you were a victim. Then your daddy said that you were brainwashed and kidnapped, only to come back home to let you go right back out in the streets to sit up there and say, now I'm helping victims. Where in this logic where you became an expert in helping victims or being a person that should advocate for women? When? Because you ain't been a victim that long. You just became one. You just realized you were one. So you say it. You understand what I'm saying? See, one of the things that I like about Joycelyn is that she's standing in her truth. When she came out and she said about that fake Patreon account, that wasn't her. And she spoke strong and precise about what it is and what she was feeling. You know what I mean? And then she shut CBS down. Azriel is all over the place. She on Instagram, Patreon, this, that. She just ain't even stable. You know what I mean? So, and then Tim Savage. All these fathers and everything else, they done tried to pimp their daughters. And I've said this in 2018 and 2019. And I've asked this question when I interviewed another blogger. Okay. I asked, did they think that this man pimped out his daughter? I spoke on that as well. Okay. Everything that was said out here, I already done spoke on in 2019, early 2019, had y'all paid attention. everything from the law to the parents to everything, to changing the laws, to what's going on, to the setup. I knew it, just like I was the one who set up and said this was orchestrated. When they had the attorney Griggs on how he set up and had to change the narrative, I spoke on that early 2019, that they had to change the perception. In order for you to sit up there and change it, you got to change the perception around. But what they don't realize is that society is fickle. They just flip on you in a minute. Just like Me Too was strong as ever 2 years ago. Now they garbage. You know what I mean? So society attention span ain't as long as it used to be. They had change on you in a heartbeat. And so the problem is when these young ladies get on the stand, they're victims now, and everybody got them now. But when they get on the stand and they get to dissecting everything that they're saying, they're going to be the most hated person. And that's one thing I didn't want for them. I spoke to Geronda one time, and I told her, I said, do you know that you're going to be on the stand? Do you know that even though we talk all this stuff and Greenberg and everything, do you know that they're experts in tearing you apart? They're experts in it. They didn't just start doing this. They're going to tear you apart. You're going to think you got this down pat. You're going to think that the prosecutor going to prep you only to find out you're going to be needing to take a break and crying. And you're going to look. This is not good for anybody, especially these young women. I hate that these parents put these daughters in this situation and they go on the media and tell you people that your daughter has herpes and that she had chlamydia. She a grown woman. Why does she have to take you to the doctor? When you did the press conference, you had to let it be known she's 21. She take her own self to the doctor and see about her coochie. Why you going to see about it? That's just crazy to me. You know what? Sylvia, that's my 2 minutes, and that's what I have to say about it.
Thank you, Spittin Fire. Thank you.
Hey,
Lil Honey, would you like to give your 2-minute spill on that?
Little Honey. Little Honey is on
Okay.
mute.
Joseph, what about you?
You're on the mute, Joseph.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm off now. So, well, it looks like this whole thing of, well, thanks Gucci for showing us that piece. I think that piece needs to be played in court. You know, it's a very good evidence. I think, like what you said earlier, all those letters needs to be gathered together in order to show the human side of R. Kelly, which is very, very important. He's done a lot of things, a lot of charitable things for people. So all that needs to be, let out, to the judge so that they can see it. I'm hoping that, Jen and the twins would defend him on the stand. It's very important. They work closely with Rob. They've got a lot to do to support R. Kelly because, if they work closely with R. Kelly over the years, we need good things out there, for R. Kelly because all these negative narratives, they have to be shredded in court. So my own is every support that you guys can provide for R. Kelly, behind the scenes. I think it's going to be helpful. That's just all I want to say.
Thank you, Joseph. Little Honey, your 2 minutes.
Little Honey, wake up. What you looking at? Hey, Terry, go ahead.
Yo, she's stirred, ain't she? I'm sorry. Can someone give her a nudge or something?
Well, it's definitely, you can see a conspiracy going on with the Savages. Can you hear me?
Talk up loud. We can hear you. What you looking at?
I'm looking at you. Can you?
I'm looking at you.
Can you hear me?
You sound like a chipmunk.
No, she's listening to something in the background. You need to turn it down. You need to turn down your YouTube. No, you need to turn down your YouTube.
Hear me now? Well, it's definitely a conspiracy going on with the Savages. Can you hear me?
Talk up loud. We can hear you.
Okay. It's definitely a conspiracy going on and criminal charges need to be filed.
You sound like a chipmunk.
No, she's
Turn your
listening
TV
to
off.
something.
You're watching the TV.
Turn your TV down. Your
Turn it
YouTube,
down.
turn it
Hey,
down.
Turn it
stop
down.
looking at the screen. Look at me.
It's definitely a conspiracy going on, you know, in the setup between the Savages and the Clarys and all of these peoples and alleged victims. And like Spitfire said, there needs to be a reinvestigation opened up, even on everybody involved in this situation.
Okay, thank
Turn it down,
you.
Key.
Thank you.
Okay, I just said, I'm sorry, Sylvia. It needs to be an investigation reopened up. You can clearly see that it's a setup for monetary reasons and fame and all of this stuff. And, you know, it just needs to be reopened up and looked at a second time, because now a lot of factors have came out in the public's eye with them on their social media platforms and all of these things. And so it's just, you know, it's just sad that Rob has to sit there in confinement behind people, money, greed, and lies, like Gucci said, you know, and it's just really sad, and it just needs to be another investigation, and there needs to be indictments on that other side.
Thank you. Terry, 2 minutes.
Listen, people. Some reports on that clip that said July 2017. The man got robbed November 2017. 10 months later after that, Surviving R. Kelly came out. It's time to use our common sense. I have encountered in a set of parents, I had my own encounter with a set of parents from the Surviving R. Kelly program, and I will reveal that to the public tomorrow. But let me tell you something. Like I said earlier, this situation is all over the place. It's messy. It's made our culture look crazy. It's produced a lot of hate and judgment in people's hearts. And I'm proud that we took a step into having this conversation tonight. It's a lot of manipulation, a lot of corruption going on around this brother. And, you know, bringing this out to this point is well needed. And most importantly, the public needs to know. They need to know that we've been tricked. So with all that being said, I don't get into all the legal stuff and stuff like that. I just know that the public needs to know that this can happen to anybody. To all the entertainers out there who's not speaking out, this can be you easily. So I understand you not speaking out, but it needs to be spoken in the light of knowing that something as reckless and simple as this can be you. And, you know, a lot of things, we'll get into that tomorrow night for part 2. But, you know, it's the writings is on the wall, y'all. Like, it's there.
Thank you, Terry. Gucci, your 2 minutes, and then I got to give them some announcement for tomorrow.
All right. So basically, what we saw, we just saw a lot of stuff that make you go, because all these setups and all this stuff just didn't happen. There's no way this just happened to Rob. They were planted, they were set up, and they was pushed. You heard Tim said it himself, begging people to call Kim Fox after he put the narrative out there. He begging. Kim Fox didn't investigate herself. Tim Fox forced her. Why? Because Tim Fox in the video said, you got 120 days, 5, some shit. So Rob didn't pay him. So what he did, there go the setup. So this the thing. And I'm going to close it. Remember one thing again, people. Tim Savage, Angelo, and all more than half of the accusers, the security and other people, somewhere got a Baltimore connection. It seemed like everybody in this damn case got something to do with coming from Baltimore, Kip, whoever. It seemed like. So, what is this telling you? It's a setup because people wasn't getting paid. Rob said, you know what? Hell with all of y'all. I'm not paying him. If you remember, that was the same thing with Michael Jackson. When he said he wasn't paying no more, they took him to trial. Remember, people get tired of dishing their money out, and what happened when they do? They always end up in court. They always. So tomorrow we are going to have, a part 2 after Sylvia make an announcement. Tomorrow, the same time, same place, I'm going to have an entertainer tomorrow as a guest where he's going to talk about the next day with people he encountered and know. So tomorrow we're going to have all your questions, email it to Sylvia, so tomorrow we can answer a lot of questions. So Sylvia can have all the questions, and we have it tonight. And I appreciate everybody for supporting Sylvia channel, supporting everybody in this panel. We appreciate all of y'all so much. We are trying our best to get the facts out for Rob. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Gucci. Okay, guys, get your piece of paper and pen ready. I got some dates for you guys. Thank you guys for coming on this channel. Please subscribe, share, and do what you can as far as getting the information out. Now, here's some dates that I have for you guys. I need you guys to go and subscribe to Malicious Conspiracy, because Malicious is where we got the video. They will have updates on things that's happening and things that's for the court. Then I need you to go to Just Jazz. Just Jazzy Jazz. Just Jazz. She has 2 channels. She has flyers that she is if you need flyers to give out to individuals so they can become aware of what's happening to Robert Sylvester Kelly. Because we're on a movement now, y'all. Time for playing is over, because his trial is coming up next year, and we want to be prepared. We want to get out there, change some minds about this man and his situation, okay? We have January 8th. I am in Chicago. They are going to have an R. Kelly. I forgot exactly what they're calling it, but in Chicago, they're going to set off some birds and some things like that. And also, Gucci's going to have some billboards set out for his birthday, just to recognize him for his birthday. Then you have January 20th. That is going to be a status hearing in Illinois. January 20th. Status hearing in Illinois at 10 a.m. March 25th. I'm sorry, February 17th. Status hearing in New York City. February 17th. You have March 25th. Status hearing in Illinois, the federal. The first one was January 20th. That's status hearing for the state of Illinois. Then you have April 7th is when trial is supposed to begin in New York, starting at 10 a.m. Okay. You have August 12th. That's a status hearing in Illinois, federal. You have September 13th. That is trial to start in Illinois, federal. There's no date for the state trial yet. Okay, what I need for you guys that's here, there's over 300 of you guys in this channel tonight. I need you guys to spread the word. Share this live. Let everyone know what's happening. And I need you guys questions tomorrow. Anything that you want us to answer, submit it to my email, sparks1565@gmail.com. Okay? From this point forward, guys, we have a charge to keep. We have to get this man's information out there. The national media is not for him. So we have to give word of mouth. We have to do it. We have to be the Underground Railroad, like Harriet Tubman. We're going to be the Harriet Tubman for Robert Sylvester Kelly, for his cause. Okay, so I need every single one of you, the ones that know how to Twitter, the ones that know how to Instagram, the ones that do the Facebook. I need you guys to spread it like wildfire. Spread it, get it out. There's so much information that is out here in the YouTube world. There is Spittin' Fire. There is what's the other young lady name? Prima Donna. You have all these different. You have Malicious Conspiracy. You have Truth Media. There's so much information that is out there that you guys can share with those who are ignorant of what's happening to Robert. Okay, it's a setup, and we cannot allow them to hang him in the public's eyes. It's a lynching that's going on. And you guys are here because you're mandated to take on this mantle and to help this man out. And that's what we're here for. So can I get a promise from you guys that you will share this video? You will share different bloggers' sites. Spittin' Fire has one. Just Jazz has the flyers. Those who need flyers to give out to your community. Spread the word, guys. Do not let this man go into this. No, there's no hearing on the 21st. There's a hearing on the 20th. January 20th is the hearing.
Hey,
okay. All right, go ahead. Oh,
1 second, quick. And in Chicago, hey, let's come up with something different instead of release balloons. Balloons usually when a person dead.
I don't have all the information for
okay.
I don't know who's doing it. I'm just going by memory, and I can, this 53-year-old mind sometimes can't remember everything.
Right. So I'm not telling them what to do. So I don't want nobody to misunderstand. I'm just saying, let's do something else instead of balloon. Because I remember every time I go to a funeral, that's when I see they release balloon.
Yeah. Okay. They putting out other bloggers out there. Okay. Y'all guys, they're putting some bloggers. I can't remember everybody's name. Please forgive me.
Yes.
There's a lot of bloggers out there that are on R. Kelly's side. The only one I'm remembering right now is because Malicious Conspiracy, we just used their video. So there's a lot of bloggers that's in here that's spreading the word. There's Dubowski, there's Tevin Terrell, there's there's a lot. There's a lot of bloggers. There's Sky Zone. There's Keisha T. There's a whole bunch. I'm sorry, I just can't remember everybody's name. But guys, if you want information, go to those bloggers' website and read up on it. And Gucci's gonna come up with an actual website where they're gonna put everything together so you could go to one stop shop and get all the information. Okay, guys?
Yes, I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna talk to all the bloggers that got information, and we're gonna put it, because the thing is, we gotta get serious, because potential jurors in their 50 is not gonna sit on YouTube. When they go to Google and they hit R. Kelly name, I want the website to pop up so they can read. That's that's what we gotta do. So I want to do that. We're gonna shout everybody, even Black Bender. I'm gonna say
all the bloggers. Gucci, just pick up the bloggers, please. I can't.
Okay, Black Bender. Hey, Just Jazz. You got my email. Send me one of the flyer so I can get around 10,000 made up, so we can have people get them everywhere. All right. And Texas, anybody's for Rob, man. Anybody. We don't care what, as long as you spreading the facts for Rob and getting people in the know. Everybody, we want people to be part of this, because this man go to trial April 7th, which I don't think gonna happen, but we got to go with the facts that he's going to trial. So we need to get this message out. By March, everybody in New York should know about the case. Everybody.
Yes, I want to say something right quick, do Gucci. Yeah. And some of the bloggers, we trying to get the information out here. We're going to need you to turn down the fighting and turn up the information, okay? I'm just telling you, because there's no reason to tell everybody's channel and everybody else is just fighting and throwing, stones at each other and shooting at each other through these YouTube streets. So turn down the fighting, and it's now time to turn up the information and spread the word and get to work. That's all I want to say.
And it's enough of us to get this out. You know, we don't need the major media. We can do this, guys. We can do it.
Social media is the new media. That's what people watch now. So let's get it. Okay,
Joseph has something to say. Go ahead, Joseph. And thank you, Mr. London Man. I appreciate you for being here.
Yeah. This R. Kelly Innocent website. Is that going to be the main platform where the information will be kept? The website.
No, I'm going to redo one because they don't update that. So I'm going to do redo one where, say, for instance, I'm going to have someone that updated weekly. Say, for instance, you as a supporter found something that's important and you send it to us. We looked at it. We liked it. We're going to let them put it on it. We got to have a website where the supporters are part of it. That means, because remember, you got a lot of supporters that doing research and finding good material, right? So we want a website that when people, it's supposed to be updated every 2 days. Put it like that. Not just the same information for a whole year. We want stuff on the accusers, yes. But also on the main page, we need to give you facts every day. Facts for you to say, let me look into that. So that's what we're going to do with this website. I already contacted a website company. I'm waiting for them to give me a price. I'm going to pay for it for a whole year and just let them, and get somebody. If anybody know a website designer or a website person that want to volunteer help us, let me know, because I want this to be ready by the middle of January. Right after the birthday, I want to launch this thing.
And guys, subscribe to this channel, because in this channel I will be showing the hearing that's on the 20th. So subscribe, please, if you want to know. I mean, you don't have to subscribe,
Right. So I appreciate everybody, man. Tomorrow we're gonna have more facts. We're gonna have talks. Look, tonight I'm reading my stuff, and a lot of people on Facebook said they like it. This is helpful. They're learning. They're seeing stuff. So we're going to try to do our best. And like I said, people, any question you got, just send it to Sylvia tonight. And tomorrow we're going to answer every question.
Okay, now I'm going to thank every single one of my guests who took the time out to be on this panel. I want to thank Lindsey and Jen because they're gone. I'm going to say them first because they're gone. I want to thank Dr. McDowell for being here. I want to thank little Honey, Joseph from way over yonder. Thank you for being here. And of course, Spittin' Fire. The fire is spitting today. Thank you so much for being here. And of course, our two hosts, Gucci and Terry. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys. And thank you, chat. Thank you for being here. Thank you for spending the time with us. And don't forget to submit your questions because they will be answered tomorrow.
Same time, same place.
All right. Good night. I'm out.
All right, people. Everybody, peace.
Thank you. Joseph, don't forget.
Bye, y'all.
Bye,
good night.
Joseph.
All right. Good night.
Tune in tomorrow.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Yeah.